Well, good morning, everybody. How are you doing? So glad you are here. It is Wednesday. It is super hot already. I got some stuff done outside early this morning. I'm talking crack ass of dawn, because if you're going to do any sort of actual yard work in the afternoon, whew, you better have your own personal air conditioner. So I get up with the chickens, and I get things done. And sometimes it might take me 2 or 3 mornings in a row to get all my farming done. So I guess you know what we're talking about today. There is a plan to dig between certain graves. I might be saying it wrong, at the Morrison Cemetery, and equipment is going to be used to see if they can find summer in there. That is really all I know. That is really all I know. And Ernie will be coming up. He's going to talk about when this is going to be, how many volunteers he has, and we have a gentleman in here that works with EquiSearch that is going to come up and lend his help. Okay? Now, let's get to something else. Who's got pink on? Put a Y in chat for yay, me, or an N for no, that color looks horrible on me. Nina's Hippie Hut, I'm wearing my pink. Mouth has got hers on. That's what I'm talking about. Stacy's got hers. By the way, if you want your own, we wear Rexy is E ... I don't like pink. I absolutely love Rexy. I do. She cracks me up. Radio Gods. My toes are always painted pink. Brit, black is my pink today. Okay. My gosh. Rachel, red? Yeah, close enough. That's what I'm talking about. Dear goodness. Anne just got her pink on. My gosh. Nope. Jonathan has on his yellow Texas EquiSearch volunteer shirt. Well, we are halfway through the week. Let's say hi to Mike.
Oh, guess what day it is? Guess what day it is? Huh? Anybody? Julie, hey, guess what day it is? Oh, come on, I know you can hear me. Mike. What day is it, Mike? Leslie, guess what today is?
It's hump day.
Oh, it is, and we got a lot of stuff to discuss. But first, let's welcome everybody and get comfy. As we're doing this, take a second to hit the like. And like I said before, if you want your own, we wear pink on Wednesday shirt. Put a donation in the chat, and I'm averaging those out over the Wednesdays in July, and you will get your shirt. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Well, I do not know the rules in Tennessee, but I do know that in Oklahoma, if you are doing any sort of disturbance to said grave, it either has to be a subpoena, as in they're bringing someone up for DNA, open investigation type of thing, or if it's more of a fact-finding mission, you have to have permission from the family. Does anyone know the laws in Tennessee regarding disturbing a Cemetery, because I don't know. But I do know I'm out's gifted 5 Crime Lines and Lies memberships. It's raining Mims. Hallelujah, it's raining Mims. I'm out is making it rain, making it rain, making it rain. All right, so let's start with this while Ernie's getting ready. I thought that was very interesting that White Boy Radio put this short up last night between him and the very lovely Noelle. Just about blew my mind what she said. Well, who's knocking at the door? Well, hello, Ernie. How are you?
Hey, Brooks, how you doing?
Just trying to stay cool. What is your temperature?
Oh my God, I've not even looked. I think it's like 82 degrees. Let me see here.
That would be great. We got up to 106 yesterday, I believe they said on the news.
Yeah, I'm not really been paying no attention. I mean, it's been hot. I mean, the last few days anyways, and I've not even looked today how hot it is.
All right, let's look at this that Matt and Noelle put up last night. Part of it's hard to hear because Noelle was a little ways away from the microphone, but it's very interesting. And I've heard this from other people that Candace has said the same thing to them.
We're in Tennessee. Mm-hmm. What did Candace tell you when we were at the house about if Summer was to come back?
All right, so Matt's talking to Noelle. I absolutely adore Noelle. The jury's out for me and Matt because he makes fun of me from time to time, but it's all in good stride. You know what I mean, Ernie?
Yeah, 100%.
So he said they were at the house, as in Ben Hill Hell. Noelle's having this conversation with Can't, and this is what Can't said.
Oh, I said,
say it loud.
It was
louder.
A 1% chance that they would be able to find her is what they were.
No, not that. I don't want to put the words in your mouth. Okay.
You gotta tell me what it
okay.
is,
Okay.
What's
the weirdest thing that she told you in regards to Summer? That. Louder.
That she had hoped that they didn't find her.
Louder.
Matt, that she had hoped they didn't find her when we were talking about the 1% chance, and I said not to give up hope.
Oh.
So the FBI said there's a 1% chance of finding Summer Wells. Noelle says, don't give up hope. You know, God's got a plan. All of those things that we say when we don't want people to give up hope. And Candace goes, well, I hope they don't find her. Can you believe this, Ernie?
Yeah, 100%. I can agree. I can agree on that because I believe she said it. She said a few things the other day when she was talking to some people out and about. They had asked her, you know how like Dawn always refers to Summer never being found, like she'll never be found, and then Candace has been reportedly saying the bitch will never be found, referring to her own daughter. So when she gets mad, Candace abruptly says shit like that. That's the way she does. And I'm sorry about my language error, but it does piss me off when, you hear these parents of these children, and it's just, you hear other parents of other children, they'll never ever refer to their kid as that. And it just makes me mad when you hear stuff like that. Anytime I hear Dawn Wells speak, I get aggravated, and I get aggravated with Candace now.
She said the same thing about her sister Rose. She was talking to Allie, and she said, don't fuck with me. The bitch is just fucking dead. And I'm like, We've heard Dawn talk about how Summer is in a basement being SA'd and hit with hammers. And people are like, he's just trolling people, Brooks. You know, he's just trying to get attention. Well, he got mine. How about that?
Let's talk about that. You remember when I brought that out and said that Candace said that about Dawn doing that, and then Dawn mentions a hammer. But here's the thing. I had stated that way before. It was like way before Dawn even brought that out. I brought that out. And everybody, and then that, and everything, like when I bring stuff out like that, or something like when the TBI was doing the Van Hill search and stuff like that, I was there. Me and you was talking. I was a mile from there. So,
you know,
it's
and
just like, go ahead.
And they're talking to a couple of people on YouTube that I have no reason to believe these people are lying. Okay. I know some people have said Jinkies might have over exaggerated when Candace said she was scared of SA charges. Look, that's not an over exaggeration. That's what she was told. Jinkies is not the type to go around making stuff up. Noelle, you can tell, is troubled by this conversation. But you have some of these damn scumbags that really think it's a flex move to talk to Dawn and Can't. Do you know what Dawn is calling it now? Why people are obsessed with him?
No, I don't know why Don's what he's calling it now. I've not been paying attention to Don Wells. I recently got back in this, and the fact of the matter is, it's kind of like getting back into something. You're going to be rusty. So I'm kind of going back into things myself when I've got free time. I've not even started this yet, and you see how big it's already gotten, Brooks. Here's the thing about it. I've got a vacation coming up. After the vacation, I plan on hitting this 100,000%. And this is going to be quick. This is going to be, my vacation's quick. It's only like 4 or 5 days. But, after that, I plan on hitting this. Everything I got, every resource, everything we've got. I've had, I don't know how many people in the Kingsport, Hawkins County area reach out to me like, hey, we got your back. We know how dangerous this is going to be. And when people reach out to you and they're automatically like, this is going to be dangerous. So then you know what you're up against. You understand that, right? Because there's people that don't want you around. There's people that don't want you around anything about it. So it is whatever. You just gotta. Sometimes you just gotta put it behind you and just say, "Look, hey, this is what we got to do. We got to keep marching forward. If it's the Lord's will, it's the Lord's will, and that's where you got to be at."
I got you. ICU said, I'm obsessed with getting him arrested for Summer's disappearance. But he says, like Trump derangement syndrome that liberal women get, people in the true crime community have DDS. And that is not a doctor of dental sciences. It means Dawn derangement syndrome. Everything's about him. And I can tell you, we care a lot more about Summer than his dumbass. Hashtag it. DDS. Do you have it, Ernie?
Listen, when it comes to Don Wells, everything he says, from the point that he said stuff about young children and thinking that they're, anytime you relate any kind of sexual activities to youngins and young children, and that right there, automatically your credibility, everything goes out the window to me. It does. I don't listen to what he says out there anymore, unless he's talking about Summer. And there's a reason I listen to him when he talks about Summer. And that's because predators always have to talk about their victims. Predators are always ones that they have to one up everybody on their victims. They always have to be the ones who know it all. And Don Wells fits that perfectly.
Out of everyone that's in here, we have 242 people. And I can tell you right now, all of these wonderful people, they care way more about Summer than what those two old dirty bastards do. You know what I mean? They care way more. We've seen more than enough with them. So this is
Well,
what she said to Noel.
we've seen the searches. We've seen the searches go on, and we've seen what those two were doing. I don't think they've ever searched for their daughter. They know. So let me ask you a question. Why would you go out there and search for someone you know that and you state to everybody that's never going to be found? Why would you search? So that right there tells me everything. It's just like I was talking to Brian. Brian's a real private investigator in Tennessee. He does things all the time for different companies. He does a lot of disability stuff. He does a lot of fraud work. He does a lot of workers' compensation claims. You know, he gets some pretty big contracts out there. And you know, one of the things we was talking about that, and he was like, you know, even in class, even when you're in training, you know, these people tell on themselves out in the open. Criminals are not smart. So, you know, when it comes to their practice, they're smart doing it, but there's always the who, what, when, where, how gotcha questions that automatically catches these people.
Well, now, when you go to excavate this cemetery, we'll get to the logistics about it in a little bit. Do you plan to meet with Don and Candace? You know, there's that Mexican restaurant Don likes.
I don't think, here's the thing, it's probably going to happen anyways. But like what I said, we're going to have plenty of backup. We're going to have plenty of backup with us when we even attempt to make that, you know, when we do that. So, I mean, there's going to be a couple of different times before we actually do it. So, nobody knows those dates. Nobody knows those dates. Our team knows them, and that's it. That's it. We're not going to put it out there to the public. However, we will do the videos and stuff and show the people the videos.
Live or edited after? Because I'm going to be asked that. You don't have to answer that.
When we actually just go and do our rounds, we got to do our rounds first. And again, that right there requires anybody can do in the public. Anybody can do that. We will be just doing videos only. When we actually do it, depending on what law enforcement and it just depends on the permits we have to have, all that. It depends on a lot of that. Like I'll give you an example. Let me give you an example. So in order to, like you say, exhume a grave or anything, what we was talking about before, right? You know, there's certain things as just regular people, you know, just us that we can do. You know, we don't have to have all this law enforcement stuff to do that. But when it comes down time to actually doing if you have to exhume or, you know, use certain equipment and all that, yes, that's when you got to have permits. And these permits can take up to days to weeks to even months. So, I mean, we still have to contact, you know, the owners of Morrison Cemetery. Of course, I'm not the one that handles that. I've got other people that's going to be handling that. I got a lot of professionals that are on board with this. And, you know, they like, we know the family, we know the people here. We can talk to them, let us do this and that. But the thing about it is, all the credibility, everything you have, that's going to come into play on whether or not anything produces credible evidence, like suggestion concealed human remains, correct?
Makes sense to me, but who is going to be there to study what you find?
So here's the thing. Before now this is jumping way ahead. We're going to do a walkthrough first. Our team is going to do a walkthrough.
Okay.
We're going to measure, which we're allowed to do. We're going to measure. We're going to line. We're going to do what we need to do to see where exactly we're going to have GPR. The fact of the matter is, even GPR is not always going to be accurate. So there's going to be we're going to have to take people's witnesses and stuff. That's why I said I've got something set up with Andy Bernard right now. I want to set something up with him so I can talk with him. He said he's willing to talk with me. I want to talk with him because, of course, he's the one that said he had the dream and all that. So there's a lot of questions that are there now. There's a lot of questions. Go ahead.
You're telling me that Prayer Garden has been harping on this cemetery because Andy Bernard had a dream.
Well, so here's the thing. When people talk about just regular people having dreams, I can understand that. And we can understand that. But you have to understand he's a person who is deeply involved in the Summer Wells case So that being said, then you have to look at all the venues. You have to, if somebody's saying, no, we're hiding this, we're hiding that. The thing about it is, if somebody's hiding something, you don't just look at one venue, you have to look at all of it, correct?
I agree. And let's face it, I mean, Andy has been somewhat implicated by his cousin and his cousin's wife. So let's get to what Noelle said, because it just about blew my mind.
You got to give more context than that, babe.
And she said, yeah, but I hope not.
Say it again, babe. People can't hear you. Give a quick roundup.
What?
Give a quick roundup of the conversation.
I just did.
One more time, loud.
We were talking about what the FBI said. It was like a 1% chance of finding Summer, and she was putting some of her stuff in a box and showing me something. And I told her not to give up hope that God, does make miracles happen. And just because they said 1% doesn't mean anything, that they still might end up finding her. And she said, yeah, but I hope not.
Noelle, who is a very, very, very sweet woman, said, don't worry about that 1%. Don't worry about what the FBI said. Stranger things have happened. Candace said, but I hope not.
Okay, just you can yell it. We're in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
What did Candace tell you when we were at the house about if Summer was to come back?
Oh, I said,
Say it loud.
It was
Louder.
a 1% chance that they would be able to find her, but they were.
No, not that. I don't want to put the words in your mouth. Okay.
You gotta tell me what it is,
Okay.
man.
Okay.
I don't have enough
What's
time
the
to say
weirdest? What's the weirdest thing that she told you in regards to Summer? That. Louder.
that she had hoped that they didn't find her.
Louder.
Matt, that she had hoped they didn't find her.
Babe. Say it again. You can't hear. Give a round.
What?
Quick round.
I just did.
In a nutshell, Candace told her she doesn't want Summer found. Okay, so we had a question from Ellie. She wants to know what your impression of Fred is.
Okay, so back when the FBI was doing the search with Fred's people, remember that on Van Hill, 3500 block of Van Hill Road? Remember that?
Yeah.
Okay, I was talking to Fred. Everybody knows that. Beanie. I was talking to Beanie. I was talking to Fred. I was telling what was going on. That's when Fred was telling me how many times the dog actually hit on the trail or on the road to Candace's, all that. He was telling me all that. So during this time, he starts throwing these pictures out. Some of them are legit, some of them are not. He throws this dog out there. And I done a live on this, and it was a huge live. It was a huge live. That's when everybody got back into it. And everybody was like, when we kind of start pulling back together again because of the Summer Wells thing and the FBI stuff. So, it kind of opened up new life into the case, correct?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so when I did that live, and Benny was like, oh, yeah, you did great. Everybody was like, okay, so here's the thing, what I know. Fred was putting things into my head, okay, at that time. And then he showed me a picture of a dog. Okay, so we automatically Google Lens everything to make sure. So I went ahead and put that information out there, knowing that I was going to get hit with that. I was going to get hit with that not being the dog. And of course, one of my haters, we already knew it. They had already put it out there. But I let myself do that. And I did that for one reason, to prove to myself and to prove everybody else that that is not why I already knew the dog didn't belong. But because of Fred put it out there and said, oh, he brought this dog here from this da 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 da. And it was a dog from Arkansas. So I put it out there, and I did that just to see what kind of information he would actually give me. And he gave me fake and false information. So I kind of, from that point on, I don't really listen to anything Fred has to say to me about regarding to the case and trying to pull a directional, whether it's pulling a direction away from him or not. I really don't even pay no attention to him anymore.
Okay, I think that answered the question. Carmel B77 wants to know, she said, cadaver dogs are useless in a cemetery. You want to hear something funny?
So, when you say they're useless, they're not useless.
I was watching this thing, those body farms that, what is it?
Mhm.
ORNL has somewhere in Tennessee.
Right.
Oak Ridge National Labs. Okay, they have that body farm. All right, so when you're in a cemetery, you are in a casket and it is sealed. But if someone else is buried out there, they're looking for a particular scent, and the dogs can find them faster.
Bingo.
Than they can in water. But I believe everything that I watch on those documentaries. We have someone backstage. Cindy wants to ask a question. Come on in, Cindy.
So let me talk about this cadaver dogs real quick, like.
Okay.
Can I speak on this? So
well, can we answer her question first, and then we'll get back to that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, Cindy. Hi, Cindy. Cindy, you're up.
You might want to be careful, Brooks.
It sounds like she's outside. I don't think she knows she's up here. He wants to know if I'm talking. Yeah, I'm talking. Yeah, 9:29 a.m. She said, you are fine. I can only hear Ernie. Are you talking? Can you hear me, Ernie?
Yeah, I hear you fine.
Okay. So what's up, Cindy? Yeah, I don't think she's connected right. She'll have to reconnect. All right, so let's talk about the cadaver dogs.
So, in some cases, trained human remain detection dogs is pretty much what a cadaver dog is, correct?
Never trained one, so I'm not the expert on that.
So, it depends on the burial depth. There's a lot of it. It depends on how far a dog has to go underground. The burial depth is something that's going to be a big factor. Also, the weather's going to come into. It depends what the weather's going to be like. The best thing you want for something like that is like, you need to know everything. Age of burial, everything is going to come into factors when it comes to a cadaver dog. But yes, the box, think about this. If it was a tote, like it was said, or something like that, a Rubbermaid, it's going to be a Rubbermaid tote, right? We all know that plastic and rubber starts breaking down, especially under extreme pressures and weather and, with water, everything. It's going to start breaking down.
Now, hold on. You're assuming that she's in a tote in the cemetery?
I'm just saying, let's just say that because, there's speculation. Let's just say it is that. And let's say that there's a tote, there's this, that. It's going to start breaking down. Well, guess what? That's going to leave trails of scent, okay? So, yes, when you say that in a casket you're sealed and you got a vault, you're not going to have much scent at all. So, yes, it will be able to detect. And to be honest with you, in that case, a cadaver dog would be very, very useful. Now, I'm not no expert on cadaver dogs and don't claim to be. But yes, if a scent is sealed, it's sealed. But something's out in the open, it's going to pick it up. And it depends on how far down it is as well, too. There's a lot of factors to it. The weather's going to have a factor in it. There's a lot.
Okay. But you're saying this is going to be up and coming in, like, I'll say like a month or two.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Kiki, thank you so much for the super sticker. She said, I can't take a link, but would love to ask Ernie a question. The video where he's talking to Can't, and she's by the water, does he know where she was exactly, and was he worried Summer was there?
I don't believe, here's the thing. I think she was with her friend and around her friend's area at the time, Kathy or something like that. Again, I'd have to refresh up. I've been out of it for a while, but yes, most of the times. And here's something, Brooks. If you take when I was actively involved in the case, every single interview, mostly that's from Candace or Don, has got me in it some way, right? Everything that people uses, like with the Candace waterfall thing or with the water and stuff, with her throwing the phones, I was on the phone with her, or I had something to do with it.
No,
So yes, I mean,
yeah, you're brought up quite a bit. Yeah.
yes. So even with that, me getting back in it, let's say that, and I'm not saying they are or not, but we all know what the deal is with it. Let's say that they're not guilty. Let's say that they ain't got nothing to do with anything pertaining to it or anything. Why would it scare the living hell out of them for the mere mention of me being back in it? Why would they lose their mind? I mean, at one time they tried to get restraining orders on me for me just talking about it. And like they was making up stuff. I know this because they went to law enforcement. Don and Candace both did. Don mostly. Like, oh, he's going to come out here, beat me up. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. It scared the living hell out of him. And I never said anything like that. I would love to whip him on live. I would love to whip him on live, but does that mean that I can do it? No, I would love to do it, but I can't just go out there and just whip somebody, on live. But yeah, if given a choice, yeah, I would love to do it. I would do it in a heartbeat. If somebody said, hey, you're not going to get no trouble whatsoever, and all you have to do is go whip him, I would go drag him out of his house, drag him through the mud, the blood, and the tears, out through the mud, and I would stomp his ass on live. But I know that I can't do that. But in my heart, I am that type of person that can do that. You see what I'm saying? I am capable of that. And that scares the living hell out of him because he knows who I am and he knows what I'll do. I would have fun with it. But in a professional point of view, in a legal terms matter about it, I can't just go do that. No, I would waterboard the hell out of him. I'm not going to talk about it, but I would, and I would enjoy every minute of it.
That's okay. And by the way, this is only your business. If you want to talk about it, you can. But I know some people really care about Summer and they want to know why they have to pay to get this information about what you're doing, which is why we're doing it live here today.
Okay, so nobody's paying for anything. Who's paying anything?
Is it on your members?
Oh, when I'm doing boots on the ground stuff, like missing people and stuff like that, if we're out there in the field, yeah, we will do that. We will do it. But if I'm just talking about it, or if I'm just somewhere doing something, no, you don't have to pay for anything. No.
Okay, I didn't know because I've been so busy around here. We had all those pool problems. I'm trying to get all the pavers picked up. And I mean, I've got a big project going on in the heat of the summer. So now what are you going to use once you dig between these two graves to get down there to see if Summer is between these two graves?
So, first thing we're going to do, like I said, and I don't want to get ahead of anything. I don't want to get ahead and I don't want to just jump in this all head first, and I'm not going to. Okay. First thing we have to do, you have to target the excavation if there's going to be any excavation or the target of excavation. And that means if sufficient evidence supports like a further investigation. See, what we're wanting to push is the further investigation. All we can do right now is what you or anybody else can do is go out there and look and check it out and look at it, measure it, do whatever. I'm not a professional in it. People think that it just becomes a regular search. It's not. It's actually a forensic examination that has to take place before anything even happens. So yes, this takes a while. This is going to take clearances. This is going to take permits, and this can be anywhere. I mean, first off, the first thing we got to do, I'm going to go out there. We're going to go out there. We're going to have 4 or 5 people out there with us, and we're going to look at the area. We're going to measure it. We're going to take video of it. We're going to do what we need to do, and then we're going to go and we're going to have a person get a hold of the Morrison Cemetery, the families, and we're going to see what we can do and what we have to do to get that done. See, so when I say that we're so far out on this, we are, but it's upcoming. The upcoming part's quick, yes, but it's going to be the legal battles and the legal things that we have to do. That's going to cost us money and to get permits. And you know, we got to take our time on that. We've got to make sure all of our T's are crossed and all of our I's are dotted, right? That's the way you got to be.
Be sloppy about something like this. Okay, someone knocking out the door. All right, it's Cindy. Hey, Cindy, can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, what a pretty voice you have. I have missed seeing you.
Well, thank you.
I just love all your comments and everything.
Well, thank you. Thank you. A lot of people don't think my comments are very good, but I'm just a very, I guess you could say, blunt and to the point person. So I just had a few questions for Ernie. I'm not a regular panel person, so Ernie, you say that you're going to find Summer, correct?
Oh, yes, I have in the past. Yes.
So, what makes it different this time?
Well, this time I have. Go ahead.
Can I answer this?
Yes.
I can't speak for Ernie because, I mean, he's not in law enforcement. But
Right.
a lot of times when someone is missing, particularly a child, there is
Oh, I can't.
many searches. Okay.
Hang on, my dog's. I might have to mute.
Okay. I speak quite frequently about Laura Bible and Ashley Freeman, and they have been missing for 25 years. And Lorene Bible wants all the volunteers possible. She doesn't care. He doesn't care. And that's what she wants. And so I can't speak for Ernie, but when it comes to finding out any new information, I mean, are we wasting our time? I'm asking your opinion, Cindy.
Sorry, I had to go into another room. My nose is barking. Well, I know it's just that it seems like it's the same rinse and repeat with Ernie. He says he makes these, I guess, these promises and nothing ever happens. You understand what I'm saying, Brooks?
Oh, so you're saying he's not going to show up to the cemetery like he didn't show up to Volunteer Speedway and all those other places?
Look, I once believed in Ernie. I did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to deny that. You know, I once believed in him. I once believed that he would and I feel stupid. I do. I feel dumb.
What leads Prayer Garden to believe that she's in that cemetery, and how did she get you hooked into this, Ernie?
A few months ago, and it ain't exactly. I was actually on her show, and it was brought up about the cemetery.
Uh-huh.
Now, here's the thing. What people keep forgetting: just because a creator's brought that out, I mean, it's just like what I don't like about YouTube, and this is something I don't like. Like everybody everybody has information that other creators don't have. Each creator has other information. Every creator has talked to Dawn. Every creator has talked to Candace. So there's obviously different informations out there. And of course, being content creators and turning it into what is content, people put out what they think they should put out, correct?
Yeah, that's their channel. That's fine. I've seen some.
Right. That's their channel.
Mm-hmm.
But here's a problem though. When you look into a private investigator point of view,
Mm-hmm.
and you take it from and I'm no longer licensed. I will be the first one to say that. Or you take it from a bounty hunter point of view. You see, being a private investigator, there's certain things that register. There's that eye, there's that detail, there's that attention to detail thing. And when you hear somebody like Andy or somebody and you say, oh, well, this, but grant this, I never heard the video. I never had heard the video or the audio playing of Andy in his dream. So obviously, too, did you know that suspects? Well, wait. Did you know that suspects often bring out things through their dreams that they know about, but they use it as a dream for some sort of reflection or deflection to deflect people, but they really want things because it's a conscience thing. It goes into their conscience. But go ahead. But I'm all for all the questions, all for everything. Go ahead.
Oh, no, don't feel under attack. Of course, people are curious. So, I mean,
no, I'm not. It's okay. I understand that.
No. And Cindy, I muted you because you have a lot of background noise. So a lot of people can't hear. So when you want to say something, unmute yourself and mute yourself again, because it's hard.
There was a time. Yes, I've been in and out of the Summer Wells case. I have.
That's fine.
If you go back, I mean, you have to move on, because I'm going to tell you right now, when you talk to Candace day in and day out, there's a certain thing that it does to your mind, to your mentality. Okay. Especially when you see what your normal is and what their normal is. And it's obviously toxic. It don't relate to your normal. Go ahead.
It's toxic. That's why it takes an effect on people. Been there, done that. And I don't mean with can't. All right. So Prayer Garden is basing her theory on Andy Bernard's dream. That's what you're telling me.
And it's also got to do with Jody Sue as well. And let me say this. Have you noticed the last few days that I've been involved in this? Have you seen Jody Sue's post? Nobody thinks about that. You see, when you rattle a cage and it's got something to do with somebody or anything with that, they literally lose their mind. They don't know what they're doing. Look at Jody Sue's last post a few posts ago and tell me what the hell she's trying to explain.
All right, curiosity killed the cat, and here I go. I really try to stay away from that nonsense, but okay.
She's talking in signs and symbols, people.
Do I still have background noise? I moved it to another room. Is there still a lot of background noise? No, I don't hear it in the room I'm in now, but
no, you sound clear. So okay. Jody Sue is talking about Supernatural season episode 17, Supernatural Sam and Ghostfacer's theme song. Undoubling is the unlock. She's got a bragging on Zoran Mondami wanting to arrest Benjamin Netanyahu. Okay. I didn't realize she was so political. Someone says, how did you die? About time. U.S. Marshals arrested Andrew Tate and his brother. Okay. That's been going on forever and a day.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. She's a busy girl.
So notice when she came up on my panel, and she was like, she was all over. She was out of hell and anyways, but she was like, I need to speak with you on something. Word to the grapevine is you was in Van Hill on a certain day. And I said, yeah, I was in Van Hill. And she said, "May I ask what you was doing there?" And I said, "I can't really say what I was doing there, but I was there." And then she was like, "Did it involve any kind of money transactions?" And I said, "As a matter of fact, it did. I ain't got no reason. I ain't got no reason to lie to nobody." I went to Van Hill and I took pictures of the Greyhound place where they stopped it for trafficking. And then I went over to Don and Candace's place over there to the motels, and I talked to the owner of the motels. He knew Don Wells he knew Don Wells. He talked with me about Don Wells and Candace. And then I went over and I showed Candace's little Dollar General store and her Family Dollar right next to each other. So yeah, I did. There was a thing that Killer Looks had put out there, and I wanted to go see it for myself, and I did. And I happened to be in Van Hill Road at the time that the FBI was there, and it was literally it all fell in place, and that's what I was there for. So yeah, I did my homework. I do my field interviews and stuff. I'm not one of these new type investigators. I mean, I was trained by Bob Burton. Bob Burton was one of the greatest bounty hunters ever. He didn't have all this technology. We had pen and pad, and then we had maps. We had geographical things. We had to understand how to look people up from there. We didn't have the GPS systems and stuff. We had to do it on pen and paper. So that's where I come from when it comes to that.
Now, I'm seeing a connection between how you have a huge investor in New York City. You talk to Jody Sue Brown, and she's posting all these things about the mayor of New York City, and she honestly thinks everything he is doing is A-okay. Does she think that you're going to set her up with somebody?
No, I don't know what she's thinking right now. She can think whatever the hell she wants to think. The thing about it is,
it's quite a connection.
It is. I know. That's why I said, look at what she's posting. Look at everything it's doing. See, from the average eye, it's nothing. But when you say double unlocked, I mean, who makes a post double unlocked, not even talking about what you're referring to? See, a lot of people take me for an idiot. I'm not an idiot.
No, I don't.
There's been time.
I don't think they're taking it for that. No, I wouldn't go that far.
But that's what I'm saying though. Like people will say, "Oh, I once believed in you. I did this." Listen, I'm just a normal individual. I've had my ups and downs. I've had my run-ins with law enforcement. But when it comes time, I will always stand for the children, no matter what anybody says about me. There's one thing when I die, they'll be able to say about me: I was never a rapist and I was never a child molester. Anything else, I don't give a damn what they say about me. And that's the way I'm looking at it. That's why you got to take the punches, whether they're good or bad, whatever people say with you. You got to keep on moving forward. And that's a fact in life. And that is true. Thank you, Hillbilly. Ernie even took pics when he was on Van Hill. Thank you so much. I did.
Ernie, you said the other night that you have to get permits to do this.
There's a lot of permits, yes.
Okay. Who is getting the permits?
David Holloway.
Okay. Has this started?
No, none of it started yet. I've got a vacation to do first, and then I'm going to hit it 100%.
Okay. Wait a minute. This is not making any damn sense.
Can I answer?
Summer needs to be found. Okay, she needs to be found. It's been 5 years. Summer needs to be found. Okay,
so let me just tell you something. You don't understand the stress.
Ernie, wait a minute, Ernie. You want to find Summer. You want to find Summer, but you're exploiting her. But you want to take a damn vacation. What sense?
I'm not exploiting anybody. I've already had my vacation
yes,
planned.
Yes, you are. You're exploiting her.
All right, so it takes a long time to get approved for a permit. She needs to take
exactly.
She needs to get calmed down. They exhumed a grave here in Oklahoma. I heard about it on the news forever and a day ago, and it took a very long time to get the approval. So let's all take a deep breath. Are you okay, Cindy?
This is very touchy for me. Very touchy.
How come, baby?
because she needs to be found.
Oh, I agree.
And I feel like Ernie is treating this like it's a game.
Well, you've always been very, very soft-hearted. I just didn't want you getting too worked up. I wasn't trying to be disrespectful to you.
I mean, he's acting like this is some competition, and
Okay, let's talk about that, because I hear that on a lot of different channels. You know, I mean, I'm cool. I'm
Talk
hip.
about it.
I catch up on things. Does anyone care who finds Summer and who solves the case? Is anyone going to be mad if it's Ronnie?
no,
Are you going to?
absolutely not.
Are you going to be?
Absolutely not. If Ernie finds her, great.
Are you going to be mad if it's the new agent that's on her case, Josh Melton? No. Anyone going to be mad if it's a hunter in the woods that comes across her? No.
You know, here's the thing. I can understand people, but it goes back. Let me say this. Let's say somebody beats me to this. Go ahead. Go beat me to it. I don't want the credit for it. You know, they talk about somebody said there's $40,000 in reward money. Let me tell you what I'm going to do. And let's say I do, this does work and it does show something that and it brings us even if it don't find Summer, let's say it brings us to another lead or something that's
Ernie,
going to
there
progress
is
the
no
investigation.
reward. Did you say reward money? There is no reward.
Listen to me. Let's just say that there's some sort of reward or anything. I don't want the money. I don't want it. Okay. See, you automatically put your eyes and your ears to listening to whatever you think you want to hear. You want to think something bad about me. Therefore, you wait to listen to something and then you turn it bad about me, which you have all that right. You have that. But there's nothing.
No. This show is not about you. It's about what you're doing for Summer. We're talking about what are you going to do to get to that cemetery. I am concerned about a few things. Can I ask a question?
Ask any question you want.
I don't need the date. I don't need the time. Will the families that have loved ones buried there, will they give permission? Because this is not something required by law. Let's say like the staircase killer. It wasn't anything that law enforcement wanted. It was an independent investigation. And the woman that died, her daughter said, absolutely not. You are not digging around my mom's grave. However you want to do it. No way, no how. So this is not something that law enforcement wants. Will permission be granted by families?
Okay, so here's all I know about that. Once we get permission, and we have to have permission from the people who own the cemetery. That is a fact. Before we do now we can do walk-arounds right now. Anybody can go do a walk-around. Anybody can go and do measurements, do a walk-around, do whatever. Anybody can do that. Now, when it gets to going and when it gets to progressing and we have to bring licensed officials in, then before that, we have to ask for permission from the people who own the grave, who own the people who own the cemetery. There's a lot that goes into that. That's why I said the quick and easy stuff. Yeah, that's going to be quick and easy, but it's going to be a process. And the process is going to be, it could come out. And then I said this before, it could be months. It could be months to get all that done. I'm not going to just blow smoke up someone's ass right now and say, hey, but this is, listen, everything that happens starts somewhere. You have to start somewhere. Now, can I go myself and do these things? Yes, I can. I can do all this myself like that. But when it comes time to doing the major things that need to be done, any kind of thing that needs to be done with the GPR, all that, I've got to have a licensed professional. Did you know that?
Nope, but I didn't ask that question yet. I know where my mom is buried, and you would have to have permission from the cemetery, but the cemetery gets permission from the family. Now, if it's under the guise of law enforcement, now mind you, that's Oklahoma. That's not Tennessee. Okay. It is a major, major deal. That's why a lot of people, they're not doubting you. I don't see that. They want to know who exactly on your crew, because you told me 300 or 400 people. And there's
Now,
no reward money from her. That was already stolen. I think there's some
right.
storage place
So let,
that
so
said
let,
they throw in 10 grand.
let me state this. When I said 300 or 400 people, I never said that was my teammates. I said that would probably be the people that show up, because I'm wanting to do an event. When we do that, if we're allowed to do it publicly, I'm saying there'll be 300 or 400 people there. They'll be, they'll have to they'll have to have law enforcement to pretty much guide the traffic in and out. But seriously, when it all comes
Three
down
or
to
four
it,
hundred. Excuse me, I'm sorry. I did not mean to interrupt, but oh my gosh. 300 or 400 people. Look, if you have that many people, and if you have that many people now, why are they not out there searching for Summer Wells? Why are they not boots on the
okay,
ground
so
right
obviously
now
you missed
searching for
everything.
Summer Wells?
Obviously you missed everything just now. You didn't, you took what you wanted to hear and you ran with it. Like I said, you did it before. So I said, there'll probably be 300 or 400 people. That's volunteers and people that just show up. I never said that I had 300 or 400 people. I said there you go. You see, people don't want to listen to anything and they don't want to hear it. And no matter, you could say people are good people.
No.
People automatically say what they want to say. They say it. They put it out there before they think about it. They don't check it twice before they put it out there, Brooks.
No,
That's where we can agree to disagree.
We can agree to disagree. I can just tell you right now, this is my channel, and I don't want a bunch of people over talking each other. You ask a question, someone answers. But when someone is getting upset, it's time to take a deep breath and go somewhere else. Where is Jonathan? Can someone page Jonathan and bring him up? Because Jonathan volunteers for EquiSearch. All right, we got someone knocking at the door. We have a lot of questions about this.
Ta-da!
Yeah, Jenna.
Good morning, Brooks. How are you, honey?
Oh, good, baby. One of the most talented people I have ever met in my life. I love you so much.
Oh, thank you so much. I have a question for Ernie. Hi, Ernie. How are you, honey?
How are you? How you doing?
I'm good. I've heard you, talking. I was sitting in chat and I'm listening to you talk. And what I want to know is you're talking in terms of we. Do you have a team or something?
We do.
Okay. So who's we? You and who else?
So our organization, I'm just going to say, I own Rescue Our Children as a LLC for you. You can look it up. It's in Florida.
Okay.
However, I have not used it. I have not used it in years.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to do it all under that. That is a LLC. We can do that.
Right.
We can work with other operational teams. Most of the teams come out of New York City. Most of our backers. I'm going to be meeting. I'm actually going to New York City to meet these people and do pick up. See, here's the thing. Whether people like it or not, in order to do these investigations and be productive at it, you always got to remember that you have to have funds to do this stuff, correct? You can't just go in out here and just pull this shit.
Ernie.
You got to have connections. Exactly. Okay, exactly. So that limits a lot of people who have heart and who have passion and who want to do things. But the fact of the matter is, you got to have the funds to do it.
Right.
You got to have it.
Now, Ernie, I want to ask you one more question, okay? Respectfully. I'm just going to give you my opinion on.
I just got something from
Candace
David.
Wells. On Candace, honey. Okay.
Well, let me say this first before you say that.
If she's questioned properly, okay, because she breaks down every time she's questioned, and you know that. If somebody really, puts her in an interrogation room, I think you'll find Summer.
Okay,
I agree. That's just my opinion, honey. I'm not going after you or anything.
I agree 1,000%. I agree, and that's what law enforcement should have They should have taken a proper investigation and a proper interrogation. They should have taken Dawn and Candace in separate rooms.
Exactly.
instead of letting them stay together. I agree
Exactly.
1000%.
Mhm.
Law enforcement dropped the ball. And also,
They did.
David just
They
messaged
did.
me. David just messaged me and he said, more.
Okay, everyone, the link is right here, but everyone has to take their turn with the ball. I'm not
Right.
going to have 10 people up here, blah, 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 all over each other.
Well, I hope I'm being respectful, Brooks.
Oh, you? I'm not worried about you at all.
All right. You're not scared of me, are you, Ernie?
No, not at all.
I'll talk intelligently to you. I won't, I'm
No,
not
there
going
are people in there going, there's a retired detective that wants to come in. This person wants to come in. Okay,
to.
you just grab the link and you are in line. It's like getting your pizza at Chuck E. Cheese when you were 4. Okay.
It's like
Ernie,
standing in the
thank
government.
you so much for answering my questions, Ernie.
Thank you. I appreciate it. It's like standing in the government cheese line waiting for a box of cheese or some King Cole bologna, right?
Right on.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's one hell of a way to put it, but okay. Oh, God. All right, Brooks. Well, honey, I'm going to drop down and somebody else can come up or whatever. But Ernie, thank you so much for answering my questions. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Can I answer this question?
Good luck to your future endeavors, babe.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Can I answer this question from the chat, Brooks?
Sure.
Okay, so this is a good question. I'm not buying into it. Love it, love it, love it. Ernie or Brooks, is it good to announce the search? Is it good to announce the search? Won't it tip off to remove evidence? It's called rattling the cage. It's called rattling the cage. Can you imagine if people was to go, especially suspects was to go and try to do something now that is put out there? Think about it. It's what we want. Yeah, hell yeah. 100%. It's called rattling the cage.
I've never heard you say a date or time. All right, we got someone knocking at the door. Just please be patient with me, guys. Just grab the link. You're not going to be brought up like really quick. Everyone is wanting to know what's going on. Hi, Jonathan. Now, Jonathan volunteers for EquiSearch. He knows Tim Miller. He knows Dave Radar on all of them. And he wants to see if there's anything he can do to help you.
Ernie, you said you're getting permits, right? Hey,
yeah, you would have
with Tim Miller and all the volunteers with Texas EquiSearch, man. You know how we went to Tennessee and searched for Summer and other cases. Hey, we'll definitely help you out.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome, man. Because of course I went there to see the community. To see the community come out there. And just with us being volunteers, Ernie, the community just needs to support us.
Yes, they do. And here's the thing. I was a former fugitive recovery agent. We had a thing called the Fugitive Recovery Network. And even with that, like say bounty hunters, we would be looking for criminals. We'd be looking for fugitives in California. Of course, we'd be in Tennessee and we couldn't reach out to California exactly to get things done. So what we could do is we call what's called spot checks. We would hit up another agency over there, another bounty hunter, because we have the Fugitive Recovery Network. And we would say, hey, bro, who's on and so. And then within a couple minutes, somebody would say, hey, I'm here. Well, what about San Diego? What about San Francisco? Okay, good deal. So can you check this? Can you run by this address and check this? We would send the files, the information, the warrant, everything from there. And then they could take and then they can make a warrant. And then they could actually do an extradite, and then they could extradite from state to state to state till they get to us, and it saves so much manpower. So think about this. So if you can catch fugitives that don't want to be caught like that, what can you do with missing children who would love to be found? Think about that.
Well, Ernie, if you and Tim Miller had sat down with Don Wells.
I mean, I don't have to think about it because it's a proven fact. FBI, CIA, Department of Homeland Security, Basically, every major law enforcement agency in this country says missing children, truly missing children, are very hard to find. They're easy to hide. They're easy to cover up. They're hard to find. You got to have someone that is real quick from the get and a really good investigator. Go ahead, Jonathan. Hopefully he can use you.
No, you're good, Brooks. Arnie, and when Tim Miller sits down with the parents, right, and talks to them, just standing by him, listening to Don speaking. Tim kind of knows where Summer is, man. And if you whatever you need, we'll bring it with us, man.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. But again, I need to talk with you guys offline in private. If Brooks, if you could give me their information or a way we could reach out, and even we have to meet up or whatever, I would even cover all the meetups, all that, whatever we need to do, however way we need to bring this little girl home, whatever we need to do, whatever we need to search, I'm all for it.
Okay, I mean, we're not going to say anything that can't be disclosed right now. So, I mean, do you think, Jonathan with Texas EquiSearch can help you?
Oh, 100%. 100%. Here's the thing. Since I brought this out, there have been so many people in the community that's been reaching out to me and saying, hey, we're there. We know about the area. We know what's going on. I mean, I've got people that go by that graveyard even now. I got a guy that works not even a mile from there. And he literally just drives by the graveyard just to make sure nothing's ever nobody's there. And pretty much it's vacant.
Okay, but I mean, still, why are we laser focused on a graveyard? Is it because prayer said so? And also, are you going to take that money from that man that wants you to disclose her real identity?
Let me say this, Brooks. I get a lot of, so everybody knows me in this community. Everybody knows that I have put information out there about people and stuff. And, it's wrong to do, but it's what I used to do. I was a skip tracer for 22 years. I can find virtually anybody. I mean, literally, I gave you information as soon as you say it before, and I'd be like, hey, here it is. Bam, bam, bam. I have people who runs those clear networks, who runs that real quick, and I can tap into that real fast. But, I don't understand why I would want to, go into another creator and dox another creator or anything like that. As of right now, I want to stay, I want my focus to be on Summer Wells and finding Summer. Later on in life, maybe something else. But as of right now, I'm not looking nobody up. I'm not doing any of that. I've got us focused on Summer Wells. And as soon as I get back from New York City, that's pretty much what we're going to be doing.
You going to take Jody with you and go have some ribs? That's her favorite meal, and meet with Zohan Mandami. She seems to be a big fan of his. So, Jonathan, I think some people are confused by what you said, Jonathan, when you said Tim Miller has a good idea where she is. Did you? But you didn't say Tim knows where she is.
Yeah, Tim does not know where she is. If Brooks in the chat, if he did, this case would have been solved. But with his health conditions, he's probably not going to be able to make it. But we got other boots on the ground.
So let me say this, and I know where Tim's probably coming from, and I don't even know Tim. When you interview the parents, a good investigator will be able to tell exactly from the parents the way their the emotions, the way their characteristics are, the way everything. You can watch it unfold. A good interrogator can pretty much determine anything and everything about what needs to be done by the actions of the people, the suspects. Do you agree on that?
Well, Jonathan's not a detective or an investigator. They search for people. But I mean,
no, but he was there. You said you was listening to Tim talk to Don and Candace, correct, Jonathan?
It's recorded, and
Okay.
I was in the field.
Okay.
Kyle Ryan said, Brooks, how can Jonathan help when EchoSearch search has to be brought in by law enforcement only? I don't know where that rumor came from. They appreciate cooperation by the police department. They do. But they will do whatever they want. They truly,
Exactly.
they found Audrey Cunningham. They did. Now, they did that with the cooperation of the police when they brought out all their equipment and everything, and they thought, okay, these guys are the real deal, like the United Cajun Navy. The police didn't ask them to go look for Nolan Wells. They did it on their own. I just don't understand where that came from. Do you have to get permission, Jonathan? Let's say when you guys were, I'll bring up Audrey Cunningham. Did you have to get a invitation from the police to go look?
Brooks, yes. So we had to contact the police contacted the sheriff's department contacted us, and we went.
But they contacted you. That's a totally different story.
Yeah, they contacted Tim, and Tim texted me and said, "Hey, you're available. If you're available, we need to find her." And Brooks, I'm just happy we, just to see these families find their missing relatives or kids or whatever. Mm-hmm. Brooks, just to see the smile on them and for the parents to tell us thank you. Y'all don't know what we see or go through.
I could not imagine. I could not imagine. Now, I do know when little RJ Davis was found in Oklahoma, they did ask if it was okay. Now, sometimes they'll forbid it totally for whatever. However, Dave Radar, he headed up that team that searched for Summer, and his exact words to Duty Ron was that they couldn't get 1 cent. They couldn't get 1 hint, nothing. What does that tell you? What does that tell you, Jonathan, if you're in an area and you and EchoSearch are out there on horseback or whatever you do, and you're not getting any scent or anything?
That tells me that, the parents possibly moved the body. And Brooks, and I know Dave is with Texas EchoSearch. He's over the Midwest.
Oh, is he now? Because at one time I thought he was in the Southeast. Anyway, I get confused. They moved over.
Okay. He's been over the Midwest, Brooks. I could Brooks, and I mean not now, but I could possibly try to get him on where he could talk to you and the other guests in the chat.
Oh no, I'm good. Not unless he plans to search again. Unless he plans to search again. All right. Yeah. So we need permits. We need permission from the cemetery and the families, and then the equipment to look through what's going on down there. Now, what about canines? Cadaver dogs. Because we're going to make an assumption, a horrible assumption today, that she is not going to be out in a cemetery alive. And there's a special type of dog, according to that documentary I watched about Oak Ridge National Labs, that when you're searching a cemetery, you have a different scent dog. Where are you going to get summer scent?
Well, Brooks, and like in past cases, the victims would provide us clothes, and the scent dog and smell it, and of course I'm not a.
Okay, sorry, I was asking that question to Ernie because he's the one heading up this search. Go ahead, Ernie. I'm sorry.
So again, all I know when it comes to cadaver dogs or anything with trail dogs, anything of that, like you said, and this is something we're counting on too, the casket is sealed. If a casket is sealed and there's a vault on it and there's something under that that's buried, obviously it's not going to be nowhere near sealed or sealed tight as a casket. It's going to be just out there, a box of some sort. Therefore, it's probably broken down. I mean, you have to look at the years that's went by. The box is probably broken down. They may be some scent that a cadaver dog can pick up. So yes, a cadaver dog would be useful in that case. And it would actually be more useful. A cadaver dog would be more useful than GPR in that case. Go ahead. And
No.
that's what I know. That's what I know about it.
No, I'm just trying to, and how are, because I mean, from what I saw from this cemetery, okay, these caskets are like neck and neck, if you know what I mean. So what are you going to use? I think that's safe to say, to get between the caskets and put your equipment in there.
Again, I don't know much about the GPR. We'll have a licensed person, but I do want to say this. The people that we got working with us now, you have to understand that GPR, it don't just identify a body directly. We understand that. It just takes like the soil, the vibrations of anything, if it's void, anything like that. If it's a box and it's in it, and somebody else messaged a while ago, the professional and credentials of it. Some operators of GPR do hold certifications. They're trained. Now, do we have to have licensed ones to do it? No, we don't. But we do, and we will make sure that the people using it know what they're doing. I mean, anybody can get these type of machines. I mean, if you got money speaks. You can get stuff. It don't matter if it's black market, whatever the deal is, but you can get these type of ground penetrating radar devices. And you want people that's trained. And that's the biggest thing we're worried about. We want everybody to understand the credentials are there, everything about this person that's going to be doing it, or 2 or 3 people or whatever we have at the time. But we're still, people seem to forget, we're still on level 1 right now. We've not began anything. Mm-hmm. Right now is the time to build the contacts, to build the people like with, like with people like Tim, with people like Jonathan, and get them on board and to say, hey, look, this is what we're going to do, or we want to do. We want to push it as far as we can, and let's see what happens with it. Everything starts out with an idea, Brooks. Everything in this world that's ever happened with an idea. Everything from the Betamax VCR to the microwave. We all know that. We got it. We got all that. And it takes a little while to do it. All right, we have someone in the back that has a question, but how much are the permits going to be? Because I know, because I called myself this morning. And I was told that it's not so much getting permission from the cemetery, it's from the family. And if the family says no, you can't do it. I don't know about that. If we have law enforcement, which we do have retired federal, couple retired federal guys that know how to push their way. They know how to talk the talk. They talk the lingo with other officers. And I think that's going to be a big part when it comes to someone speaking on our side. And anyone can go to a cemetery, but if they catch them with a shovel, there's a big problem. I visit graves. Okay, so David just messaged me. David said he's been in touch with the family and the owners of Morrison family. They support whatever to find her. The family has gave full support. We're working on it in the background. So
All
I
right.
don't know. I don't know about, again, that's him talking. That's what he's doing right now. That's what that part of the team is doing. See, when you have a team, each team member works on something separately from the other.
100%. That's what Henry Ford said. He said, I'm not the genius. I can make a phone call anywhere in my plant and get the answer. We got someone knocking at the door that has a question. Hi, Kiki. What's going on, girlfriend?
Hello, Brooks. How are you?
Oh, I'm telling you what, just trying to beat the heat. What are you doing, girlfriend?
Been feeling dizzy for a few days, wondering what's going on. I think I got an inner ear. I'm not sure.
Oh, you better get some antibiotics for that.
I'm going to because it feels weird. Anyways, I was sitting and listening. I've never met Ernie, never knew Ernie. Hello, Ernie.
How are you doing, Kiki? How are you?
Pretty good. I'm pretty new on the scene. I mean, I've been on here about a year, and I just had some questions. The whether anybody likes him or not. And I work a lot in Sebastian Rogers' case. Okay. Um,
That is the next case we're going to after this, by the way.
okay, Mob Crew. Don't he's pretty good at what he does, I think. Others may have some opinions on him, but he actually done he actually got with a professional group that was licensed to do the GPR at a graveyard. Okay. And actually, he had to get permission from the church. He had to get permission from the family. And then he had to have all these license pulled and everything. And he done it, It wasn't real expensive, but he also talked about he had dogs out there too, I think. There is a creator, if I can get in touch with her, that is military trained. I don't know if it's cadaver dogs. She may lead us to somebody, but she does have military trained dogs.
That's awesome.
So, I mean, I'm willing to try to do that. But that was my concern, was if you don't, now this is what I've heard. If you don't get permission from the family, it can end up like a federal offense to dig a grave.
Oh yes, I agree 100%. Like I said, the first thing you got to do is do the observations and do, you got to be able to scale it, everything, know exactly what you're doing, the measurements, all that. And we're allowed to do that right now. We're allowed to do all that. I'm not saying that we're just going to jump in, head first on this. There's no way, because we want to make sure we check it twice and we cut it once. Thank you.
Thank you. And I put that question up earlier, and I guess I don't know if you want to answer it or not about the waterways, because that video with you talking to Can really like stood out to me for some reason. Okay. Um, it was just odd because you heard what sounded like shovels or chains in the background. I don't know if you remember listening to all that. And I just wanted to know if you was curious about what was going on. It just her gagging and everything. They said that she was sick.
If you
But
listen to me, I'm telling her in the video, I tell her, I'm like, Candace, you need to get help. I have an idea. I had an idea of what she was doing, but I mostly was being real quiet. And the reason I wanted to be quiet is I wanted to be able to hear. And I even turned my phone up. At one time I had this video and I took and amplified the sound of it. And you really do, and a lot of other creators did too. They amplified the sound, and you can hear a shovel of some sort hitting the ground, like, and that shovel is exactly. See, here's the thing: she was at our location before she went there. I saw when I was putting the stuff in her trunk, she had her fishing poles and she had her spade shovel. She had a
Hold
spade
on,
shovel.
Ernie. Ernie, what did you put in Candace's trunk?
No, I was helping her.
You,
And
you
listen,
know,
what it was is
she's been wanting that for years. This case would be over if you gave her what she.
no, I actually filled her gas tank up. I filled her gas tank up and bought her a Mountain Dew. And I sat and talked to her for 40 or 50 minutes, pulled over on the side of the road there. So, yeah, she told me a lot of things. She really confided in me. But, here's the thing, I was new to YouTube. And I'm not going to lie, and I'm not going to blow smoke up people's ass and everything. I wanted this child found so bad that I neglected what I should have done professionally and not put anything out until I had it. And that's where I made the mistake. And I'll agree 1,000%. I made that mistake. I put it out here. I wanted to be honest with you. I wanted to be like other YouTubers. I wanted to be the first. I knew that I had it, and I overestimated myself. And when I overestimated, I just kind of like, oof. It was just a hit. It was a hit, especially when she started sobering up and getting back. And that Kathy person would not let her talk to me anymore, and it went south from there. But now we have the right operatives, we have the right agents, we have the right people, and I'm not putting nothing out on YouTube. Like I know everything Candace is doing now, and nobody even understands how. And I'll never ever give that up. No, I won't give it up at all. So yes, when Candace is out in the open, she talks. She talks a lot. And the thing about it is, it's the people you talk to. It's like certain people will talk to other people, regular people, but they'll never say the things they say to law enforcement. It's because they feel of the ease. And when they feel that ease, they can easily speak on things that they would never say in front of authority figures. But yes, that was a good question. And yes, I have often, very more than often, wondered about that at the exact location it was at. And if you time that from the location that she left the area when she left me, if you do the timing on that, and I even went back and done a timeline on that and timed, and it was 54 minutes from the time she left to the time the phone call was made.
Okay, now let me ask you this. What are you going to say if you disrupt these people's final resting places and nothing is found? Because there are a lot of family members, people that have laid their loved ones to rest, that take things like that very, very, very seriously. Some people might ask for compensation to make the cemetery look exactly like it was. Like, I know what my mom's resting spot looks like.
So here's the thing: when you talk about disrupt, we won't be disrupting anything until we actually have proof. We have to have something to go on. There has to be a probable cause to do anything. If right now we're using an echolocation. Echolocation doesn't really mean anything. That's just radio waves. If you go by that. Now, if a cadaver dog, that's where I'm saying I'm not trained in this. But if a cadaver dog picks it up, then obviously you've got a trained animal saying, hey, there's something under this casket that needs to be looked into.
Oh, absolutely. But like you told me, you would have to dig between the two resting places, and you would have to do your, what's it called? GSR, GPR, what's it called again?
No. You don't have to really dig anything. I'm talking about in further things. GPR doesn't work like that. It's radar. GPR, there's a line. You walk by a line.
Okay, so there's no more digging or anything now. That's all.
No, there's nothing like that right now. That's why I said
then I
if something's found.
I misunderstood because I asked you, I'm like, how are you going to exhume this man's casket that Prayer Garden's been talking about? And you said, no, we're going to dig between those two graves.
Well,
That's why.
when I say dig between those, okay, so that's a phrase that private investigators use for digging, like we're digging up stuff like that. We use that a lot. And no, there's no digging. And I'm sorry if that put anybody off or anything. There's no digging right now. That's why I said you have to measure and do all this stuff with the lines. It's just a walk. They walk with this machine and it tells what's exactly there. So that, and we're hoping that's as far as we have to go with that, or a cadaver dog. That's the easy method. That's the easy method that, we're able to do right now. I mean, I can run a dog up and down it, but I'm not a professional on those trained cadaver dogs. I don't know when they're going to have a scent or whatever, but we will have professionals that do that. Right now, we can go up there, a team, 4 or 5 members of us, and mark it off and just, kind of get the video evidence of it and show where we're going to do the lines. And then we report it back, say, hey, here's the area, here's the photos, here's the video of it, here's what we need done, and then later on, then that's when we start talking. But David is already saying that we have permission from the family, from Morrison. So I don't know, again, like he just now, he messaged me a while ago and said that they said they want to do anything to have her found. So again, that's another nest. That's another hornet's nest that we're going to come across. But the thing about it is, we got to start from level 1 right now. I mean, we're boots on the ground right now, and that's where we got to be at.
Hey, Brooks, if I can interrupt real quick.
Go ahead.
I can send you a link to show you exactly what that other creator done with Sebastian's case. And like Ernie's talking, usually you get a trained professional GPR person to come out. And that does take money.
I know who you're talking about, but that hasn't helped anything either.
No.
Spinning the wheels is not going to work here. I don't mean in Summer's case, but I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Now, I'm just saying they run that machine over. That's what they do, is run the machine over. They mark it off. And then they get the permissions if they see something, because the radar shows, like, it will show rocks. It will show the caskets, They have to actually scan the report themselves, because they are professionals, to see what is exactly in the ground. Is this a licensed professional doing the GPR instead of just running a machine?
There's a lot of independent people that will search waterways. They have their own dogs. They'll do what we're talking about right now. And so maybe I misunderstood from our conversations about digging between the graves and putting the GPR down in there. Now, if you want to dig between the grave and then put the dog down in there, which I know people are going to go, you can't put the dog down in there. Yeah, you can. It's been done before. And they did it in the Ed Gein case, which was
before. It has been done before, a lot. They have dug 3 or 4 feet, 5 feet in the ground and lay a dog down there, and the dog can do what it can do. Yes, you're exactly right.
And then you get permission from the state, and they will exhume it, and they will find out what's in there. It may not be what they're looking for, but it could be something else. Okay, now this is not a cold case at all. I know everyone's very very invested in finding little, summer wells. We all know that.
And I just have one other question, Brooks, and then I gotta go. I'm sorry, honey. I know we gotta do a live together. Ernie, one other question. Do you feel there's any truth to Fred Hill's allegations on the motels in Knoxville? Because it was very interesting the other day. One of those motels had a fire, actually.
Yeah. I actually searched those motels out. Brooks can remember this. I was on her panel and we talked about those hotels. I'd already done field interviews on those hotels. I knew exactly what Fred was talking about. I knew the people involved as well. Fred was actually on a panel. I had Ziggy on a panel, and Fred was pretty much confirming everything I'd said about it. But yes, those hotels in Knoxville, I've always stated that child traffickers use those those hotels. Yes, that's a fact. They were busted out.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Brooks, for letting me come up. And
Hey,
thanks for
thank you.
answering, Ernie.
Hey, don't forget, Kiki. We're live every morning
Thank
at
you,
9
Kiki.
a.m. Central. Okay.
I will,
Thank you,
hon.
Kiki. I
I'm
appreciate you.
just,
Thank you so much.
thank you. I'm just so busy all the time. I barely get to go live myself.
That's okay, baby. Don't worry about it. It's
All
summertime.
right.
Enjoy. Okay, let's see. We have some questions here. Now, what was going on? Okay, so you were on Prayer Garden, and we know she's been on this Morrison Cemetery thing for a long time. To the point, I think it was around this time last year, she said she was going to shut her channel down if they don't dig up that cemetery. Something to that effect.
So I don't know exactly what was made on that. I'm not an avid person on Prayer Garden, but this did catch my attention, and I did speak with her about it, and that is a fact. I did. I ain't gonna lie.
That doesn't really matter. This is about Summer. I am curious if you're going to work for that guy to expose who she really is, but you don't want to say, and I get it.
It's actually I just heard about it from you the other day. I didn't. Nobody has emailed me anything about anybody right now about that.
Oh, I brought it up?
I think somebody said it. I thought it was you. I don't know if it was you or not. I don't know who it was. It might have been Ben. I don't know. It might have been Benny. I don't know who it was. Brooks, to be honest with you, I've talked to so many people
I know.
since I've been on the.
You're busy.
And I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that if it was not you, but I was talking to so many people about this and that, and that was brought up to me, but nobody actually. So here's the way things like that work. I get a lot of emails and people will be like, "Hey, can you find out who this person? Can you find this person? Can you do this?" Da 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 da. And then I look into it, and then pretty much just like you pretty much already know who they are, anyways. And you kind of like go through you go through the backgrounds, you run the backgrounds, you through three different when you were CFRA, CFRA, sorry about that, FCRAs, and then you can run Clear. And Clear is going to tell everything about a person. But the thing about it is, when you're finding a person, the most things you got to do is find their family first, especially the ones that don't want to be found. And then you make the connections through their family. And you know, I'm not here to give no class on it, but you know, that's how we work with that.
Okay, we got someone backstage. Let's see what the question is. Hi, Kristen. What's going on? You got a question for the panel? She's fucking dropped down. Okay, here we go again. I know a few other people wanted to come up, and I asked everyone to wait patiently. Wait patiently. So let's look at this real quick while we're waiting. Okay, this is from the other night when Prayer Garden said Ernie is back on Summer's case. Hi, Kristen.
Hi, guys. How are you today?
Oh, good. So what's your question, honey?
So my question is I remember hearing about where we think that it could be water or something around digging, the conversation. Now, when I first started watching the crime world, it was when Sebastian got say or found. So I didn't get to really watch about Summer, so I don't know much about her. Like I don't know like the story on like, where she went and how she was found and all that. I kind of have an idea. But I just remember hearing you guys say something about a conversation and Ernie saying, I really think that she was burying Summer around that time. Is there any water close to the old house that could maybe be where she could be at, or maybe like forest or, something along those lines that would, make that story seem more appropriate?
I want to say something that's been brought up to our attention, and I don't know if it should be public or not, but I will state this. Don, can everybody hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, sir.
There's a lot to big factors about it. I believe when if Summer's found in the condition that we think she's going to be in, I don't believe she's going to be in just one place,
Okay.
because people in the South understand that there is identifiable ways to identify a human, and there's certain attributes and there's certain things that, and Don knows this, Don understands this. So I believe that when everything is said and done, I don't believe Summer will be just in one place.
I don't want to say that I'm a psychic, and I don't want to say that I have, like, I'm not Jesus or anything like that, but
Oh
just
God, please don't. God. No.
but I just, and I don't believe in psychics, but I believe in like power of intuition. And sometimes I think Jesus like repeats himself over and over again for someone to say, things. And just when that conversation happened, I seen a lot more things when you were talking about it, like maybe her, touching the body. Like I believe that they know where their child is located. That I do believe. But where, and I see forest,
I
and I
believe
see
that.
water, and I see that, and I remember their house not being very far from a forest. So I've lived a very I would say not a very spectacular life. So
Okay, but Kristen, we're not going to go down. We're not going to go around Robin Hood's barn talking about your life. And you don't have to be a psychic to see that they live around a lot of woods. They live in a very high terrain area. There is a lot of wooded area. Okay, so let's not. I mean, they literally live in a forest.
so when I saw those pictures, I thought,
Okay,
as
so you're not psychic. I got that part. Okay, so
I think like, people that I've known my life, when you do something bad like that, you want to dispose of it as fast as you can. You don't want to get caught. Nobody wants to go to jail. And I'm not saying that she did it. And I'm not saying that she didn't get taken. I'm just saying that usually when that happens, they don't want to just hold on to that stuff. It's embarrassing, You're only as sick as your secrets. So I just wondered, what really happened to this little girl. And I am all about Summer. Whether it's them, whether it's the other way around, whatever which way it is. She deserves peace.
absolutely. And that's, there's a lot to consider here.
Now
Yeah.
you're describing Thompson Land or the end of Ben Hill, correct?
Well, I'm not sure what house it is. I just remember when I did watch Brooke's show, there was like a house. I want to say maybe it was blue, but I could be very off when I say this. But I just
Where
seen.
are you getting all this, Kristen? Did you have a dream like Andy? Or did you
No, just by watching your show and then by, connecting it, like, the neighbor said that, I believe the neighbor said something along the lines as she came out and Summer was taken 5 minutes after she was and my dad said I would have been a really good investigator because I don't let things go. I just think about it over and over and over and again. And I think people are always bad. So probably that's why I think that this is the way that it went. But I just remember her saying that she acted really weird. So then that made me think that, and then she wouldn't take a lie detector test. And then, she said that,
No, she
oh,
did.
she did.
She did
Okay.
take it. But
Okay.
from there, her and Dawn, we have an entire playlist. And for those that are worried that Summer's not at peace, if she has truly passed away, she's in total peace. She's in total peace. If you
And I apologize to the audience if I do say things that I don't know.
no.
that I'm talking
Again, this
about.
isn't about you. I'm talking. Okay, this isn't about you. But we have a whole playlist. I mean, it might take you like a month to go through. I don't know. But yeah, there is a lot of speculation about a lot of different things. So what was your major question? You said something about a blue house. woods?
I just wanted to know if there was a lake maybe connected to the woods area, maybe, maybe about 5 or 10 miles away to the right hand side of the house. Not that I think I'm a psychic, but I just say disposal at the fastest term. That's kind of how I look at it. Not saying that they did or didn't, but I'm just saying, as I'm not one of the, but as disposal as fast as possible.
So let me say something, Brooks. A while ago, I mentioned something. I didn't want to bring it out to the public. But if someone don't want somebody to be found, listen to Don. Listen to Don. Well, this goes for everybody in chat. I mean, you can put me to the test on this. Don Wells says she'll never be found. Okay. The exact definition in training, when you go through training of anything with that, like disassemble. People say that, and you can look this up in crime cases and all that. When people say don't want to be found, she'll never be found. Well, what they do is they get rid of certain features, certain things that they have to get rid of in order to say that. That's why I say when and if she's found, that I don't believe that she'll be in different areas. And that's why I strongly believe too, also, that some of these pieces have been moved around, hence Candace, the night of the water, and the night that all that happens. Because I'm going to tell you something. When you're destroying evidence that could identify a victim or offender, right? You have to understand that there's behaviors that are there. And Don Wells, even in the interviews I say, he says somebody probably beat the F out of her and then they probably killed her. So when you're talking about, okay, so we know if you're beating someone up, you're going to put it in the same sentence, in the same line as you're killing someone as well. But can you imagine if you're beating somebody enough to where it's disassembling them? That's why I say that. And Don knows that. Don is a big, listen, Don is a criminal, whether you like it or not. Don is a criminal. And that's for all the other people out here. People know when you don't want anyone found, there are certain attributes, teeth, stuff like that are automatically going to identify people. They got to get rid of those. You have to get rid of those. So they scatter. They do a lot of scattering and stuff. You can look this up in investigations.
I get where you're coming from.
Oh,
You're
I
going,
believe you. And I was gonna
you're going with the pig farm theory. I mean, I get what you're going through, but to answer Kristen's question about are there woods around, it's all woods. If you look to the right, there's got to be some woods over there. Go to East Tennessee. Okay.
Well, think about what Don said. Think about Don said.
Well,
Listen,
let me finish my thought, please.
Go ahead.
There is a Y in the road. It goes to Rogersville and Sneedville. And you can barely see. It's like you're going through a cave.
I'm sorry. I didn't get to say, I was just listening to you.
It's very thick woods. It's very forestry. All right. Well, I appreciate you being up, Kristen. Everyone, give her a big round of applause. All right. We've got someone else backstage that has a question. It's my friend Carrie. Carrie, what's up?
Hey, Brooks. Hey, Ernie.
Hey, Carrie, how you doing?
I'm good. How about you?
I mean, I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay.
My question is, Grandis left not long after Summer disappeared, within days, didn't she?
From my knowledge, yes.
Okay. What if they put Summer, if they dismembered her, put her away in somebody's freezer, Grandis took that trip and dropped her off at different spots along the way. Has anybody looked at the time that she left and how long it took for her to get up there to her brother's place?
I've heard about that. I don't know about the the freezer part about it because of preserving. There is so many speculations that's going on about the Summer Wells case and about Grandis's involvement. To me, when we look at it, people, To me, law enforcement dropped the ball. Law enforcement did. There were so many things they could have
Absolutely.
done. They could have done differently, and they didn't. And whether people like it or not, when I confronted Ronnie Lawson had a deputy pull me over. I've stated this years ago. I had the phone calls. I showed where they even called me after it and told me I need to leave the Summer Wells case, that it's not good for my health, is exactly what it was said. And I was pulled over going outside of Hawkins County. They pulled me over. So that right there, if you look, when I shut Operation Rescue Our Children down, was right directly after that. If you look at the time, you can see that. If you look at what happened a week after that, not even a week after that, his son, Ronnie Lawson's own son, got hit with all these charges. Remember that?
I remember a lot of that stuff that was going on, and
So that told me right there that these people that are investigating the case, there's too much good old boys. They're too good old boys. That it's in the system. It's just like anything. There's always weeds in the system. There's weeds in every garden. Don't mean that everybody's bad. It don't mean that, all law enforcement's bad, but there are some law enforcement out there, whether we like it or not. And we see it daily on our feeds, on our walls. Sheriff's Department guy over where my sister lives at. There's a Clay County deputy, jailer deputy, that just got hit with all kinds of freaking abuse and child porn stuff and everything. And he's out on the street walking. So you can't tell me that the system don't have special needs and permissions for certain individuals, because it does.
well, I just thank you for all that you're doing for Summer, and hopefully, I don't care who it is. I just want somebody to find her, and for Summer to have justice. She needs justice, and I believe, my own opinion, her parents is a big part of what happened.
Oh, you damn right. And here's the whole thing. If you look at the week before, 6 months before, what happened the day before, what went on through the first week of her disappearance, there's a lot more answers than questions.
There is. Hey, Brooks, thank you for having me up, and I'll let somebody else up. And Ernie, you have a good day, and Brooks, you have a good day.
And
Thank you for your question. Have a good day.
Oh my God, thank you. All right, let's see Oh, hey Kristen, what's going on? So you were just up. Do you have another question, honey? Kristen?
She's muted.
Okay, I can't unmute her, so I don't know what's going on. She already asked her question, so I don't know what's going on. She can ask it in chat, sweetheart. It's really okay. All right, we have someone else backstage. Well, hey, who's this? How are you?
Hello, Brooks.
Hi, have you ever been up here before?
No, but you know me.
I do?
Yeah.
This is Mama T. This is Mama T.
Mama T.
Oh, okay. How are you doing, honey?
I am good. I have a couple of questions for Ernie. They're pretty serious questions, Brooks, if I may. Would that be okay with you?
It's up to you. If he wants to answer, that's fine. I don't know the questions, so I can't give you the answers.
He won't answer. Well, it's your panel, so I was being respectful. Ernie, where were you for 5.5 hours when you disappeared in June of 2021? When you and Cody and that other guy disappeared, where were you?
You'll have to rephrase the question more on that there. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, so the day that Summer supposedly went missing, on the 15th, we were doing our first predator hunt and our first bust over at Newport City Park. We was over in Newport, and the individual was named Tim Jones. I was talking with the Cocke County Sheriff's Department, the allegiance over to the Homeland Security, which is Michael Whitmer, which is one of the sheriff's deputies. The 5.5 hours that people seem to always bring up, the 5 and 6 hours, is the time limit that the guy was supposedly talking, the predator was talking to the 15-year-old, 14-year-old, or whatever we had decoy. So that was the time limit for that day. So I don't know when people say I went missing. I mean, we went out to Huddle House, and then I think we went over to Pigeon Forge. And during this time, I had sheriff's department over, but I was just pretty much scoping out other places we was going to film and what we were going to do for future predator bust. I don't know why people ask me about where I was at and all this, but that's the truth.
Well, people ask because of your own words, Ernie. You say
Okay,
you regret ever getting into this case.
Okay, may I ask something? Is that okay? Because this show is not about Ernie. What does this have to do with Summer? Someone's going to have to put the puzzle pieces together for me.
Okay, well, let me put it together for you, Brooks. He was missing for 5.5 hours per his teammates and his own words the day Summer went missing. Okay? Let me also ask you this, Ernie. What test question did you fail when you took the polygraph test on the Summer Wells case?
No. I don't even know what you're referring to on that there, Mama T.
You're lying. Oh my goodness, you're lying, Ernie. Why are you lying? You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I was never a suspect in the Summer Wells case. There was never no reason.
I didn't say you were suspected, Ernie. I did not say you were suspected.
No one thinks you're a suspect. Where were you on June 15th of 2021? And who is saying that you had 5.5 hours?
I don't know. It's something they bring up. I don't know. I've never heard. I heard it before, but I never thought of the magnitude that people would actually run with. Brooke, you know how this is on the internet. I mean, it's just everything.
I know, but I mean, is this something that you made up to get attention? Or did you really take a polygraph about Summer Wells? Because people will run with it. They will.
Oh my God. People run with anything and everything. And I was questioned. Well, I was questioned. Well, you know what I've said about, my involvement and stuff with certain things. And you talked to other agents and stuff about me, correct? So I have said things. Yes, I've said a lot of things. Like when I was questioned. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I was questioned. I never failed anything. There was one thing that came out. Do I know exactly, or I forget how it was rephrased, but do I have an idea of where Summer Wells is? Yes, I do. I do have an idea. Just like anybody else has an idea. And that happens a lot when people are very, very attracted to the case and they know a lot about the case. But yeah, that's a good question. Good deal. Thank you.
Hi, Brooks.
Hi, I'm sorry. I'm just confused. That's the reason I have to guide myself through this. I'm wading through
I hear you. Hi, Mama T.
And so I just don't know if, at one time Ernie was trolling people.
Oh, who the hell knows? I want to ask this, real quick, okay?
Yeah, you go ahead.
All right. Has it been proven that Summer Wells is deceased? I haven't heard anybody find anything. Why aren't people looking for a missing Summer Wells instead of a deceased Summer Wells? Because I'm going to tell you, I believe that Don and Candace love that little girl, especially Don. And I don't think Don would let anything harm that child. I think they knew what was coming down the road with DPS or whatever the hell you want to call it, okay? They passed that child on to somebody they knew and trusted. And I believe that child is alive. I think you guys are beating a dead horse looking for a deceased child. because it has not been proven that Summer Wells is deceased.
There's not, there has,
That's all I want to say.
there has not been one press conference saying that they believe she's deceased.
That's correct.
The only thing we have is a few days in, when they asked the TBI, Leslie Earnhardt was up there. Do you believe she's deceased? I mean, do you believe she's still alive? And Leslie shook her head no. And she said, we always hold out hope.
Well, I hold out hope, and I believe that child is alive.
And here's the thing, Donnie.
Okay, so let me say this. And this is going to put this to rest. I can put this to rest real fast. In a criminal investigation child missing case, the fact of the matter is, we always stand, as long as a child is missing, the longer it goes on, the less that the child is active and seen, or verifications of people seeing the child, then also the chances of the child being alive is very slim. Do you agree on that?
Somewhat, but not totally.
Okay. Also, something else too.
I know of people that have hidden children because of abuse, and they've hidden these children, and nobody's been able to find them. Believe me when I tell you that. So that can happen.
I know that, but let me finish the next part. Also, families and parents that are also being investigated before in prior cases have never referred to their children, if they're alive, of being was, as in past tense. Also, Don Wells, being the person who is one of the main suspects in the case, has often referred to Summer Wells as he'll see her again in the resurrection. So there's so many ways.
When it's time for her to turn 18 years old, he'll see her again. Maybe that's what he's talking about. Not necessarily deceased.
Well, I don't think the resurrection means when anyone turns 18 years old. And I understand your concern and your passion toward this, but the thing about it is,
it's not concern, it's input.
Well, it may be input, but you're putting a little bit more too much into Don Wells. Don Wells has stated before that he said these things and she's worth a lot of gold. So here's the things that what we do know and what I believe in my heart from the places in.
Okay, let me say something right now. Janica is a very, very good friend to me. And so we're not going to talk down to her. Okay.
First off, I'm not talking down to her.
I don't care, Brooks. Let him talk.
Okay.
I'm not talking down to her at all.
No,
she believes what she wants to believe. She can believe that. But the fact of the matter is, Summer Wells was trafficked before she went missing.
And that's a proven fact. Can you prove that?
There's people in Knoxville, Tennessee that have seen, and even Don Wells has admitted of taking Summer Wells to do his deals with him before. Where you think his deals was at? In Knoxville, Tennessee, in the hotels. And I'm not talking down to no one. This has nothing even to do with what's at hand right now, and that's all I'm going to say about it.
But like I say, but Ernie, to me, that's hearsay. It hasn't been proven. I don't care, but I mean, it hasn't been proven. It's all hearsay. This one said that to this one, and then that one said that to that one, but nothing has been proven. Nothing is in black and white or has been proven.
Well, let me ask you a question. What other daddy do you know that takes a shower with their daughter?
Well, I
and their
don't.
6-year-old. Okay, there you go. There you go.
There was a commercial a long time ago. I don't know if you guys remember it. And it was some kind of body wash for the whole family where the father took the kid into the shower with him. I don't know if you guys remember that. It was something.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. I do.
You remember that? You don't see that commercial anymore.
Well, no, but I mean, we weren't picturing Dawn naked in the shower with Summer.
Well, no, that's a horse of a different color there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know. I just don't go by hearsay, Brooks, you know.
And I know it's all hearsay. Everything is. There's no.
But I like to think outside
evidence.
the box. I would like to think that little girl is alive. That's
why I love talking to you, because they could have put her in the shed and had someone from the church pick her up.
Oh yeah.
Considering CPS was there the day before, let's think Candace has been abusive to all of her children.
Oh yeah.
Point proven. We can't say that Dawn's children that he had with Pam Wells were brought up in the most loving environment. We know Lisa Jetton lived behind them in Arkansas, and they had a bunch of people in a shed, and CPS came in, arrested people, and took the kids.
Yeah. Yep.
So kids aren't really the first thing on their mind, but they do know how to, what do they say? Like fire's coming.
They know how to work the system. They've been in it for years. And they know how to BS people. They've done that for years.
Yeah.
So, you know, like I said, I like to look outside the box.
Well, and
Look outside the box.
you're exactly right. There's nothing wrong with saying no one has said she's deceased.
Yep.
Can I make a suggestion there, Brooks?
Mm-hmm.
When you bring up panel members, you know, and this is your show and you run it however you want to, but I don't necessarily agree with being with people that their daddies are RSOs and they accuse the victim that it's their fault.
Oh, Ernie, stop that.
Hold on. Janica's father is a great person. What
I'm
are
talking
you
about Mama T. I'm talking about Mama T.
This has nothing to do with her. The show has nothing to do with you. We're talking about the search at the cemetery for Summer.
Yeah, but she already asked her questions. She got any more questions?
I absolutely do, Ernie.
Go ahead.
When you were on your excursion with Deb and you went to the road with the shallow grave that you guys found, the dead end road, and you told her to call the police because that's where Summer was buried. How would you know that, Ernie? And then when you went and exchanged the money on Van Hill Road, what was that for, Ernie?
Okay, so I
You
have
see,
no idea what you're talking
about. You know
I have
exactly
no idea what you're
talking
talking
about. You know
Again, there's
exactly
no.
what I'm talking about, Ernie. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay, so I can't answer something that I don't know what she's talking about or referring to.
Okay,
No,
well, then
he
just
knows exactly what I'm talking about.
well, then just go to the next question. If he doesn't remember, he doesn't remember.
Oh, he remembers. He's pulling the wool over your eyes, Brooks. I don't know how you can't see it. But Ernie, let me just say this and I'll go away, Brooks. I'm keeping it nice. When it all falls apart, Ernie, and blows up in your face again, remember, I told you so. Have a nice day, guys.
See you later, Mama T.
Thank you.
Thank you there, Tina. I appreciate it. Thank you. Good deal. Now, Jenica's got a lot of, a good things she's mentioning, especially about keeping the hope that Summer is still alive. If everyone goes back and remember in the past, that was also me too as well. I would always say before I would end my lives, I just hope and pray that there is some sort of hope out there that she is still alive. That's what I want. That's what I wanted to do in the beginning. I wanted her to be alive. But the fact of the matter is, the more it comes out and the more things happen and the more players are added to this twisted stuff in the Summer Wells case, look at all the people that's no longer alive that were a part of this case. There's a lot.
True.
Look at them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people. And they fall off like 1 minute they're there, the next minute they're gone. So you have to understand also that this is going, like Don said, and Don said it the best that anybody can say, it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be good. When it does finally come out, people, it's not going to look good. Well, why would Don automatically say that and automatically assume the things? And then the next thing, every time him or Candace talks about Summer, they automatically put her in a past tense, as in was. And that's the word they use is was. She was. She was. So if I'm a parent and my child is missing, I'm always going to have that God fearing, just the last little bit of hope that my child's still alive or out there. I would never refer to them as was. Never.
Yeah, well, always hold on to hope. Never give up on hope. And I think if you're going to look one way, you need to look the other way too.
Well, let's
You
talk about
know,
this way because Janica, she has hope and she doesn't have one drop of DNA that goes anywhere near Summer.
oh
However,
gosh,
Dawn and Candace gave up hope on her by the end of the week. She's just gone, buddy. And anyone that says that the was treatment isn't a big deal, it most certainly is. It's one of the biggest things that DAs pick up on.
well, you know, too, then you can look at it another way. She was could mean that, well, she was here with us, but she's somewhere else now. We ain't gonna tell you. Okay. So maybe they're using past tense in that sense. I mean, a lot of things that wordage they say could be miscommunication. Got to know how to read people.
Mhm. Now, I'm going to go back to my original question. Why are we disturbing the cemetery? Is it because of Andy's dream or because of Prayer Garden? Because she's had a hard on for this for a long time.
Well, personally, me, I think it's wrong, but hey, I'm not down there, so.
Hang
And I
on.
hope you don't find anything. I really do. I hope you don't find a damn thing.
Okay, Linda Listen, Prayer Garden. Diana Howery. Now, Ernie, I won't tell anyone, but since people are offering money to find out who she really is, are you playing along with her just to put her information out? You've done it before.
But no, I'm not. I'm all for Summer. I want Summer to be found, and this is the only thing I have. If let's say that this is not. Let's say that we do this, and it turns out to be nothing. Okay, I'm moving on. I'm moving on. I'm out of it until another lead or something happens. I'm not going to dwell on the past. I can't. I can't. My heart will always go out to Summer Wells. That's pretty much, you know, everything. I have nightmares over this child. I've had nightmares listening to Candace. It really, it done something to me. It done something to my psyche. It really did.
Okay.
And I would love to put it to bed. I would love to put it to rest. I really would.
I would be a little more me. I'm more hyper focused on Candace.
Yep.
Because it's proven that she is the abusive person in the family. Okay. Now we know that Hunter said that Grandis was crazy that day. We also know that Grandis has quite the mean streak. All right. Now
you can see that in her.
Well, let me tell you something. Do you have somebody said you may have the video of Brian Eaton when he's talking to Don Wells at the bottom of the hill in the news interview? Do you have that?
are you kidding? Are you kidding me? I've played it like a million times.
Is that where the one where the horse ran down the road?
Oh, no, that's from the press conference.
Oh, okay.
So if you look where they're at, the cemetery is right across from that, right? Correct? So if you look at Don when he's talking about it, he's like,
no, not at all. They were up on Ben Hill Road, and that's when Don said maybe Candace met the wrong people or we weren't looking.
well, it's in the direction he looks or something. So it was brought to my attention. And again, I heard the video, I watched the video. I didn't know the difference between the location.
I know, but Prayer Garden's been talking about that. That cemetery, it has nothing to do with the Brian Eaton interview.
How does this lady know so much?
So what I'm saying is this. I'm just asking this question. In the direction, let's just say in the direction of that cemetery from down at the bottom of that hill, it's in the direction. When Don Wells says she'll never be found, and he smirks and he grins, and he does, he looks off into a different direction. And I would love to see that because knowing what I know now and what we're looking at now, I would just love to see that. I would love to see the direction he's in because okay, so here's the thing. I know where the bottom of the hill's at there. I know where all that's at. I've been there. I've seen all that. I know where all that's at. From the cemetery, I've never been to the cemetery, okay? I've been by it. I've seen it. I've seen the sign and stuff, but I've never actually been to the cemetery. Now
Well,
I
there's
have
in
people
the
there.
cemetery.
Now I have people there, even that have been there. They have done it and they've looked at it and all that. And from the direction of where it's at, that's a big thing as well. I would love to see that. Again, I'm not trying to take off on nobody's time or nothing like that. I still want to answer questions and, but that's something I would like to see. I'm just bringing that up for maybe future or something like that. I could see that. I
Well,
appreciate that.
right now, I don't know north, south, east, or west. All I know is left and right. You turn right here by the red mailbox, you turn left by the Burger King, that type of stuff. So I couldn't tell you where he was looking at, especially since I'm not that familiar, excuse me, with the area. I mean, that's it. But I do want to say thank you so much to Michelle Manzer, 4910, for becoming a member of the family. I can't do it. This is amazing.
Welcome, welcome.
Okay, so I'm going to call Hawkins County right now. And
I'm
we're
going
going
to jump down, Brooks, okay?
problem, and we're going to find out what needs to be done to get all this taken care of, okay?
Thank you for calling the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office. If this is an emergency, please hang up and dial 911.
Like I'd call
For
them.
Central Dispatch, call 423-272-7121. If you know your party's extension, you may dial it now. I'm sorry, that number is not valid. Thank you for calling the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office. If this is a Sheriff's Office.
Hi, is Sheriff Ronnie Lawson available?
No, he's not. Can somebody else help you?
Oh, sure, whoever's available.
Okay.
My name is Brooks, and I'm calling about the Summer Wells case. And there is a woman named Prayer Garden of America, and we don't really know her name, so I can't help you there. And there's a man named Ernest Shell that are going to search the Morrison Cemetery. I was wondering, what do they need as far as permits, family permission, and things like that?
Hold on one moment.
Okay. This will help a lot, Benny. Two Boston homes. Don't tell them you're with YouTube like I would.
The person at extension 2366 is unavailable. Please leave your message after the tone. When done, hang up or press the pound key.
Goodness. That's how we do things in Hawkins County. Let's call back.
Hey, we've already tried everything. Call the State Department.
This is an emergency. Please hang up and dial 911 for Central Sheriff's Office.
Hi, that extension didn't answer. Just asking about the permits to search the cemetery.
That I don't know what to tell you on that.
Okay.
That's the detective that's over the Summer Wells case. That's who you need to talk to. So if you'll just leave him a message, he'll get back with you.
Now, is that still John Pruitt or someone else?
Yes, it's John Pruitt.
Okay, so is he aware that a man named David Holloway has permission from family members of this cemetery to...
He don't discuss the case with me,
Yeah,
and all that's something that you'll have to ask him. I'm not for sure.
Okay, and does he know that Prayer Garden of America is...
Ma'am.
Okay.
I have no clue. You'll have to talk with him.
Well, can you buzz him again? Is he at lunch? It is
Yeah.
12:30 your time. Okay.
Yeah, he's probably at lunch. Hold on one moment. The person at extension 2366 is unavailable. Please leave your message after the tone. When done, hang up or press the pound key.
I would
This
say, speaking
this
on protesters,
this is a joint venture between a woman named Prayer Garden of America and a man named Ernest Shell, because they believe that she is in the Morrison Cemetery. Again, you have my phone number, you have my email, and I hope you enjoyed my lunch. Your lunch. Bye-bye. Okay, so now let's call the TBI.
enjoy your lunch.
Yeah, my lunch. Yeah, enjoy your lunch. Well, I mean, my gosh, you can't get bees with vinegar. I said my lunch because I'm hungry. Hang on. Let's call TBI. Sherry, I'm not calling a funeral home.
Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, how may I help you?
Hi, my name is Brooks, and I have some information about the Summer Wells case.
Okay, give me one moment. I'll have to transfer you to the missing persons unit.
Super duper.
TBI Missing Persons Clearinghouse.
Hello, my name is Brooks. I live in Oklahoma, but I have some information that there are a couple of YouTubers that have a search planned, and it's a very high-scaled search to go through the Morrison Cemetery in Hawkins County using equipment, believing that Summer Wells is buried in the Morrison Cemetery. Are you aware of this?
You said the Morrison Cemetery?
The Morrison. Hold on. Ernie, can you tell her? Ernie, this is an agent with the TBI. Can you tell her what you're doing? Okay, he can't unmute yourself. So anyway, yes, the Morrison Cemetery in Hawkins County, and
I'm unmuted now. It's working, right?
okay, yes. So this is
so what we want to do is we're wanting to do a walkthrough of the graveyard. We're wanting to map it out so professionals can come in and do a GPR, which is a ground penetrated radar device. We want to do the lines. We want to map it out. We want to do this. So what the question is, what sort of permits are needed or license or anything? What do we need to do?
You'll need to contact the Hawkins County Sheriff's Office and get that information from them.
They said
We
to
wouldn't
call,
be able to provide that to you.
they said to call
They
you.
said to contact you.
And a man named David Holloway said that he has permission from the family members of that cemetery to dig and do all the things they need to find Summer.
That would be a question that only that cemetery would be able to provide.
Okay.
Thank you. There you go.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
So David was right. David already said that the family would do anything to find the girl. So
Yes.
you know what?
No, she didn't verify that. So here's the whole problem. I have called 2 local law enforcement agencies. Okay. One is Hawkins County Sheriff's Department. Okay. Okay. Mr. Nobody, why do you keep saying the same thing? GPR is no dig equipment. And then you put that little emoji like, oh, like I'm shaking my head. Like, oh, I just can't believe how dumb you are. That's all I'm talking about. He told me originally they were going to dig between the graves. That's why we're doing this entire show. Calm down. And now he's saying they're not going to. David can come up and he can say exactly who he spoke to that said it's A-OK to disturb a person's resting place. He can. But now we have TBI and we have Hawkins County. So I'm going to tell you something right now. Prayer Garden wants to keep fucking around because she got you all invested in this, did she not? Ernie?
It was on her show that I saw it, but not exactly her in general put me onto it. No, it was something I wanted to look into it, and we talked about it together. Yes.
Okay. It's not looking into it because you all have the permits. Hawkins County's not aware of that. You have permission from the families. Some of those families, their graves are from like 1820 effing 7. Who called that person's daddy?
Again, just mapping out and having lines drawn with the GPR. There's really no other permits that's needed except for the permit to the, from the Morrison Cemetery, from the Morrison Cemetery himself, because we're not looking at other families. We're not looking at the other things. We're going to make a line. That's not disturbing anything, nothing at all.
I got confused because what was said on a couple of other shows and what you said to me is that you are going to dig between the graves.
I did say that, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, but I didn't know anything about GPR at that time. No, I did not. I actually had people contact me about GPR, actually wanting to help me. And they's like, no, there's no digging involved exactly at all. We just take and rerun it over across the line. So yes, I was wrong on that. I don't know anything about it. I'm not a professional when it comes to the GPR stuff. I'm not at all. I've never claimed that. Never claimed anything about cadaver dogs or any of that. But I am a person who wants and who is concerned, and I do have the passion to get it done, and that's what I'm doing. That's the only reason I'm putting myself out there.
And there is zero wrong with that. And I mean zero. Carmel said the man died on the 11th. His burial was on the 18th. So let me ask you this. Since she went missing on the 15th, who the hell's bothering me? Where was she stored until the 18th? And considering it was a graveside service, Who didn't notice her being put in the ground with their loved one? And I'm asking you because I don't know.
I don't know. I have no idea about that. No idea. I
There
don't know
was
where she was taken, where she was hood. Obviously, it's been said that even law enforcement say she's been moved before. She was moved a couple times or something like that. So who knows that what they may have had her, and
no,
then her
they
final resting place be at that.
no, they never said that. They've never said that. They have never given us any inclination as what to happen to her, just that she's missing. Not even once. Now, I have a question for you, and maybe Prayer Garden can help you. In Kingsport, the next day after Summer went missing, okay, there's a cemetery there where they had 3 graveside services. Why is she not thinking that she could be in one of those? Okay, hold on. Sherry, you're snappy to me, Brooks. Sherry, I'm talking to Ernie. This has nothing to do with you, honey. Come on. You want to come up, Sherry? You can. I mean, it's June. I mean, it's the month of June. I mean, there's a lot of people that bury loved ones. So why are we only looking at that one grave?
Okay, so in order to take a dead body and travel from Hawkins County to Kingsport, Tennessee, you're probably looking at about a 25 or 35-minute drive, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the chances of it being Don Wells and knowing that he's been pulled over multiple times and things, I mean, for a crime, for a criminal point about it, knowing that his daughter's missing, there are going to be people that look at him of interest anyways. Then the fact is, wouldn't law enforcement be on the lookout for everything he's doing? So that what there would pretty much noil that nulls that. And for it be just to be a grave just right across from them, it's the perfect alibi. It's the perfect opportunity. I mean, people can say what they want to say, Brooks, but the thing about it is, it's the perfect way. Even people in the South know when you kill someone and you bury something dead over top of them, and then they dig so far they find what's dead, they leave it alone. I know people. Listen, my own. Anyways, that when it comes to that, that's my opinion of it. Okay, that's my opinion. I think it would be a very easy way to do. It would be something. It would be applicable to do. It would be something that has the capabilities to do, and they could do. It's easy.
All I'm asking is if you have this equipment, look at every cemetery in the area that had a graveside service that week. Okay? That's all I'm asking.
And
That's
I
all.
agree 1,000%. And that's something too. We can pull up records and find places that's near that area and do it while we have the machine down there. I mean, you have to go through Kingsport and everything anyways from coming down to get there anyway. So yes, I agree on that 100%. I
Yeah.
agree on that. It would
So,
be worthwhile to take the extra opportunities to do that. Yes, it would.
yeah. And so you're going to have to put the footwork in. And I don't feel, tell you what, I don't envy you, buddy, because it's hot out there. It's hot.
100%. It is very hot. It's very, very hot out there.
My mother died on June 10th. Okay. And that was like it was 2:13 in the morning. Around 11 in the morning, we picked out her casket, picked out the flowers, and they did dig her grave. But you know what happens when they dig a grave in Oklahoma at this cemetery? Okay.
Mhm.
It's guarded. Okay. You can't just go and, because I mean, people in Oklahoma, they're real fucking trashy. All right, man. They'll go and take their scrap lumber and stuff and throw it in something, thinking it's going to save them, a dumpster disposal fee. They will. They'll do it every time. So, I mean, it is guarded. Okay. We had a graveside service. and we saw her go in the ground. So has Prayer Garden ever been to a graveside service or ever buried anyone? I'm just curious, because I know she's got everyone stirred up about this.
I don't know. I don't know when it comes to that, what she's done and what she's not done. I mean, in relating to this, it don't matter to me. I mean, if anybody would have come up with it, anybody could have said that, said, "Hey, look, this is that." But all I know is from my point of view about it, what I want to do, what I would like to see happen to ease everybody's mind. I mean, there's nothing wrong with easing people's mind on this. I'm not trying to desecrate a grave or doing anything like that. No, not at all.
I don't think anyone thinks that. Let me try to call the Morrison Chapel Cemetery, okay? Probably have to leave another damn voicemail. That's why things never get done.
Your call cannot be completed as dialed. Please check the number.
What do you know? Of course. Okay, it's 1.4 miles northeast of Mount Carmel Free Will Baptist Church on the north side of Beach Creek Road. Okay. That can't be the right number. There's no way, because that would be a totally different area code. Okay. This is giving me the coordinates. That's not going to help. I need the phone number. It should start with a 423. Have you contacted them, or did David do it?
During this live, David just messaged me and said they wanted to do everything for the family and anything that could help that little girl. So I don't know. I've not been off here. I've not got to check anything or do anything. All my attention, my undivided attention, everything's been on this show.
Yep. You haven't done anything wrong, buddy. Don't worry about it. Let's see. Okay, let's try this one.
Your call cannot be completed as dialed. Please.
All right, so that one is not going to work. Maybe there's an email or something. So what to do?
Well, here's the thing. Whenever, it takes time to find out things.
Sure.
And this could be something that you're good at this. This could be something that you could keep on going and saying, hey, these people are wanting to do this, that, trying to find out. See, first thing you got to do is find out contacts and stuff on how to reach out to get a hold of these people. So that's the first thing. That's the first thing you need to do is find that out. And then this is something that could be ongoing. You could do another one. You could figure out what you need to do about that and find out. I know you want to call people, but the thing about it is, a lot of these small cemeteries, when it has phone numbers designated to them, they don't have it. It's nothing like that. You have to reach out to individuals within the family or within people that know people, and that could take days upon weeks to do. So I don't know exactly the methods that David's using for all this, but obviously it's happening.
Oh, dear God. Hey, Kristen, what's going on? Do you have another question, sweetheart?
Yeah, I just wanted to know, I know that you guys had talked about how it was, I don't know if she said she was a psychic or she had a reading, or not a reading, but a dream. But why are we so consistent on going to the cemetery? Is there like any other facts to go along with that other
Have
than
you been
sitting?
listening to the show, sweetheart?
I have, but I just couldn't figure out why that made a difference. So could you just explain it to me one more time?
Okay, Ernie, you have at it. I'm going to call this funeral home.
Okay, so is your question why the person that came up a while ago is that referring to that person or just I didn't
Yeah,
understand the question.
the reason that we are so adamant that it is at the funeral home, other than the dream. I'm sorry if I didn't pay attention or understand. I just want to understand why we want to go to the cemetery so bad,
Well,
other than a dream.
if you look at things, we know Andy Bernard. He knows Don Wells. He's been involved with Don Wells in a lot of numerous different ways. Correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so with that, we also have to understand that he lived in the area, lived in that area. He knows how people work in that area. And that being the grave opened, that would be the perfect crime to get away from everything. The tent would be set up, everything would already be there. Obviously, you know, when you have law enforcement, and I'm not knocking law enforcement, but you have law enforcement that do not have the best of resources. I mean, we all know they had to have dogs from different areas brought in, right? They didn't have their own. So you can imagine they don't have all these different resources.
She's not following the show. She wants to know why the cemetery is important. She wants to know why you want to search that cemetery. Andy,
Well,
can you?
because it's right down the hill. It's right down the hill and right over from it. It's real close to it.
Okay. All right. Did that answer your question? It's
Yes,
pure.
ma'am. Yes.
Okay. So let me call this funeral home. Jenny said, "Leave Ernie alone if he wants to help." I'm helping Ernie.
From Funeral Home, this is Meredith.
Well, hello, Meredith. You know what? That's my cousin's name too. How odd.
Oh, how cool. There's not many of us.
I know. And you know what? And she had a great aunt named Meredith, which is extra odd because she was born in 1981 and her great aunt was born in the 40s. It's a great name. Is yours like a family name?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not at all. Wow, that's really cool. Yours is a family name.
Well, hers might be, but I just never knew where they got it. Mine's a family name. My name is Brooks. And I have my great grandmother's maiden name. So I have a question, and I'm not getting any help from Hawkins County or Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. If somebody wanted to go about searching the Morrison Cemetery, and how would they do that if they're looking for Summer Wells?
You're saying, how would you find a Morrison Cemetery?
Morrison Cemetery in Rogersville, Tennessee.
Yes. Is there such thing?
Is there? Ernie, can you talk to her?
I'm asking you. Have you been there?
No, I have not.
Okay.
Here's the private investigator that is working on this.
Okay, so
there's one in Mount Carmel.
Okay.
But it says on north side of Beach Creek Road.
All right.
Opposite of Ben Hill Road. I've got a little picture here of it.
Okay.
And you can pull that up online. It says, it looks like there's a monument with two hearts. Looks like that would be pretty easy to identify.
monument with two hearts, something in the middle. Have you looked? Is that? Oh, Morrison Cemetery Road.
Yes. So, there's a woman named Prayer Garden of America that believes that the little missing Summer Wells is buried in one of those graves. And she's commissioned some people to go out there and search for her. And I think we all know how that's done. Now, exactly what would they need in order to do that?
I don't know how you're gonna know exactly that she, it's her in a grave. Is that? I'm not sure I understand what you're asking. What do they need as far as permission to go into the cemetery, or?
Well, I mean, they can go and lay flowers or whatever, but they want to actually search. They want to use GPR. It was suggested they were going to dig between graves. So we're just asking for an expert's help.
Oh, I wouldn't be your expert on that. Ugh. Yeah, that would be more law enforcement.
And they always say call the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, and they're just like, yeah, we're not dealing with it. So,
Ernie, yeah, it wouldn't be a funeral home aspect. That would be law, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And I do know for a previous situation, they actually had to dig a body up and autopsy it.
Mm.
So yeah, that would be your Bureau of Investigation, not a funeral home.
Okay, so obviously when they had to, you said dig a body up.
Who are you? I'm just curious.
My name is Brooks, and I have a podcast called Crime Lines and Lies. And I'm talking to the man that's heading this search to go to that cemetery because he has a strong belief that Summer Wells is in that grave.
In that cemetery. Okay, I understand what you're saying.
Ask her if she's ever heard that before, Brooks.
You can talk
Morrison
to her.
Cemetery. You can talk.
Yes. Have you ever heard about Summer Wells possibly be buried in a shallow grave and then another person was buried on top of her? Have you heard that?
No, I've never heard such.
Okay. So what I want to do is I want to take a team. We're privately funded. I want to take a team, which we have every right to do, to walk around the cemetery. We're going to map it off. We're going to measure it. GPR does not hurt the ground. And then we walk around with GPR. We're also wanting to run cadaver dogs. Cadaver dogs.
Hold up. What's GPR?
GPR is like it's pretty much a ground penetrating radar. It's radar. It's sonar. It's like not sonar, but radar. It's radar. It actually goes into the ground. There's nothing. It tells what's in the ground, the voidness of it, the dirt, the soil, all that. If it's been disturbed, all that.
There, not necessarily, and maybe a size of it is all I can think of.
Right. And you got a point there. Yes, it would tell. But here's the thing: where the casket is closed and airtight sealed, it would show the density area of it. But under it, if there's another item under it, it may be possible to show that as well. If it's a box, if it's something rattling in it, because what it does, it sends waves. It detects the waves in it. That's what I know about it. Again, I'm not a professional at it. We have licensed people who are going to be there. They can tell you a lot more about it. We're just asking, because right now we're looking into the permits because we don't want to jump in, head first on anything. We want to make sure we got everything. We check it twice. We cut it once.
So you think she's in a casket?
No, I think she's under the casket or in the vault. That's our theories anyways.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, okay. That would take a lot of work if she was underneath something. Somebody was seen somebody digging a grave up, I believe. But
no, she was put in there before. See, the man passed away in between the time she went missing.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yes.
So you're actually going to a certain grave. Well, then, yeah, okay. You didn't give me that information.
Yes, it's going to be a certain grave. It's not interfering with anything. And the thing about it is, it don't have anything to do with no topsoil removal or nothing like that. It's actually lines, and it just walks through. But the thing about it is, before we do this, I mean, this is on level 1 right now.
So you think she's below a vault and casket?
Yes.
How are you gonna? I'm trying to think of how the GPR is gonna detect human body if there would be anything left at this point if she was not in anything. If it was just a body underneath a vault casket.
It would still be bones, even after 5 or 6 years, would still be in existence, and they would make a rattling sound, or they would make a movement when the ground is waved. So that would actually, detect. That would detect on that.
So
But the thing about it is,
past the vault in the casket. You've got to get past 4.5 feet, probably.
Oh yeah. It's going to be about 8-9 feet, probably, or something like that. Yes, you're exactly right. Another thing, a cadaver dog has known to be able to detect up to 11.5 to 12 feet, they're telling me. So maybe we could run a cadaver dog. A cadaver dog would not detect a body in a sealed casket because there will be no scent because it's sealed off all that time. However, being put in a box, a body under that, after the box started deteriorating or breaking apart, something like rubber and plastic or whatever, then it would break apart because of the pressure and the water and and just over time, the wear and tear of it, it would still give out a certain scent, possibly, that a cadaver dog would be able to pick up. Again, I'm trying, my thing is, I want to get all the permits, everything we need. I've got the backup. I've got the funding to do it, and just see what we need to do and just put it to rest once and for all.
Yeah, and I don't have any answers for that other than contact Morse, who is over Morrison Cemetery. Is that what you've done, or have you just started with me?
Yeah, well, we're going everywhere. I mean, do you happen to have their phone number?
Let me look and see if I have who's over that cemetery. Is that kind of what you wanted from me?
Yeah.
Because I don't think. Okay.
Let me get my
Hold on just a second and let me search my system, okay?
Okay, no problem. Because I know that
Sorry, I just have a lot of questions. I didn't realize you were looking underneath and that person was buried after she was missing.
Well, I mean, if this is over Prayer Garden's hunch and Andy's dream, and someone's final resting place is disturbed, I'm going to lose it. You know what I mean, Meredith?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Now, let me ask you, what is your protocol for a graveside service?
What do you mean? What's our protocol?
Well, I mean, do they watch if like a missing child is thrown into someone's grave in the vault, in the casket?
Say that again?
Exactly what's being put in front of you. That's what this woman is saying happened.
Oh, wow. So a graveside traditionally is we either leave with the body from the funeral home to go to the cemetery, or we meet the family there. The casket is in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
The vault is over to the side. You have your ceremony. Have you ever been to a graveside? Just curious.
Yes, my mother's.
Okay.
And nothing like this would have gone on. But since Prayer Garden of America is a genius, we have to run with it. So go ahead.
Right. So, you know, a typical graveside casket is there displayed with everyone there. And so I'm a little confused how this all would happen unless they did it in the middle of the night. Somebody dug it, you know, would they be digging it by hand? Would they be using machinery? Or would it, I feel like it would have caused some kind of commotion. But anyway, typical graveside casket is there. You have your service with minister, someone sings, and then afterwards the vault goes on. The vault lid goes on if there is a vault, and then you lower the casket and vault into the ground and is covered up by the grave diggers. Is that maybe what you're asking?
Yeah, they take the tent off, and then everybody leaves, and then the flowers go.
No, the tent comes down after. The tent comes down after everyone's gone, or a couple days later.
Yeah, and then because they don't want the family to see everything packed down. But this woman,
but some families want to.
Well, I mean, my sister and I did and a lot of people do.
Right. Okay. I do not even have that in my contact for, so I guess you would have to contact somebody in a Morrison family.
So the question I got a question. So this supposedly happened before when the grave was first dug, the grave being first dug in between before the casket was even there. Supposedly while the grave was fresh, someone went down and dug a little bit deeper and put the body in or whatever, and then knowing that the casket and the vault would be on. That's exactly why.
Goodness. Wow. So, okay, well, do you know the person that was buried? Have you gotten that?
Timothy Morrison.
Okay, hold on. He was the person born, or he was the person buried where she's underneath, right? Timothy Morrison. Let me see who buried him.
Okay.
Have y'all looked?
No.
Or no?
How would I know?
Okay.
No way. Thank you.
You look it up online. Timothy Morrison obituary.
This is going to give you the grave diggers.
So he was 57. He died on June 24th, 2023, right?
Prayer Garden keeps saying that his grave was dug on the 11th of June in 2021, and his funeral was on the 18th of June.
Okay. That might be this is in this area in Rogersville. The Timothy Craig Morrison that I have died on the 24th. Let me see. He passed away on a Saturday, the 24th. Oh, looks like he was cremated, so that's not the one.
Okay. Well, there must be another Timothy Morrison.
Do you have a Timothy? Oh, here you go. Timothy Ellick Morrison. Was he 63 of Kingsport? Passed away on Friday, June 11th, 2021. Is that the one?
That's the one that she's been talking about. Okay. That's one she's been talking about. That's the one that Ernie is researching.
Okay. So, visitation was at Trinity Thursday, June the 17th from 4 to 5, funeral service to follow that, and then a graveside was Friday, June 18th at 2 o'clock. So they would have had, whenever, they dug the grave, and then prior to Friday, so they probably did it. I don't know who digs Trinity's graves, but usually it's a day or two prior. Wow, that's an interesting. What did you say Prayer Garden is saying?
Yeah, Prayer Garden of America.
So some of the wells went missing. Some went missing check this out. Summer went missing supposedly on June 15th, 2021, right across the holler from there, from on 110 Ben Hill Road. So
Right.
they're saying that
Wow.
Summer Wells was taken then and put in that fresh gravesite, knowing
Wow.
that it was open because the blue tent and all that, you know, that usually shows that, and knowing someone's gonna put on top of her. That would be the perfect crime. That would be the perfect crime.
Yeah. Interesting. I'd never even thought of that one. So they would need to disinter. The law enforcement would need to disinter and then dig underneath that. But how are they going to do that? Is my question.
Well, I mean, the
You
question
said you didn't
is,
get any response from them.
We've called them a couple of times. And here's the thing. I mean, I know when we had a graveside service for my mom. Okay. So we were there at 10 a.m. They had her grave dug at 6 a.m. And they had a way that, you know, we couldn't see all that. There was, you know, blankets and flowers and all that stuff.
Yeah, but they could have dug this grave 2 days prior, so they had plenty of time to do that. You know what I'm saying? It's not always dug the morning of. It can be done a day or two prior.
Sure. I mean, every state's different. I mean, shoot, in New York, they'll keep someone in a locker if they die in January because the ground's frozen, and they won't.
Correct.
They won't have a.
That's not an issue here.
Okay, yeah, I know that's not an issue here either. So, let's talk about probability. Do you honestly think that when they put the vault down? Sorry, it's Wednesday and our tornado siren's going off. They just always test it. Do you think they would notice a missing child at the bottom of the grave?
No, not if it was covered up. They're not going to know that.
Okay. All right.
You know what I mean? If they dug deep enough to hide that. Now, if she's laying there, absolutely you're going to see that. I would, yeah, because they have to look. Well, depends on what type of vault that they're Did they even have a vault?
Now, what funeral home was in charge of Timothy Ellick Morrison's?
You can look that up online. It's Trinity Memorial. That's in Kingsport.
Oh, okay.
His obituary's online. All you have to do is type his name on and put obituary after it. Timothy Morrison obituary.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. All right. So
you can maybe they can tell you who dug the grave, and if you want to go that route, and I don't know, because he was not buried at our funeral home, I can't tell you. Look and see, did he have a vault, did he not have a vault? I would think that if anyone saw a child in a grave that you're absolutely going to know it, but could it be covered, if they did a good job of digging deeper and covering it up, would you know it? Not unless there was something protruding, because it's usually flat and graded off and very smooth.
Okay, well, hang with me. I'm going to call them.
No, ma'am, I've got work to do. I don't have time to see. I've got funerals and arrangements to be made, so I'm going to go. Okay.
All right, you're the
and
best,
I wish
Meredith.
you luck.
Bye-bye. Well, way to go, Predator Hunter. I'm getting more answers than you.
Trinity Memorial, this is Amelia.
Hi, Amelia. My name is Brooks. And by the way, I love your name.
Thank you.
And I have a friend that is friends with a podcaster that are planning on searching the Morrison Cemetery in Rogersville to look for missing Summer Wells. Now, it has come to my understanding, thanks to a wonderful person from another funeral home named Meredith, that you all laid this man to rest. His name is Timothy Ellick Morrison. Now, this woman, her name is Prayer Garden of America, is claiming that Summer Wells, and you know, I'm sure, are you familiar with that case?
Just vaguely.
Okay, vaguely, okay. But you know, okay, I got you.
Yeah. Okay. So was your question regarding Mr. Morrison?
Yes. Did he have a vault or a casket? Or both?
There does not appear to be a vault.
Okay. And so would it be possible that someone took missing Summer Wells and put her into his resting place, and then the casket was put on top of her? And by the way, this is no fault of your funeral home.
I mean, if that was the case, it wouldn't be anything on that we would be aware of.
I wouldn't think so. No, I wouldn't think so. So I have the private investigator here, and he might have a question. Ernie, go ahead, but just don't over-educate anyone, okay? I have a headache.
Okay. And if you give me just a second, let me get you to speak with somebody who would probably have more information.
Okay. Ernie, I'm sitting here working for you. And you're
Thank you for
muted.
calling Trinity Memorial, committed to excellence in service and care. You will find our main facility is conveniently located off John B. Dennis in the Meadowview area, and our Life Celebration Center is located in the middle of downtown Kingsport. We are open to serve you Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and evenings and weekends by appointment. We are available by phone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We are honored you called today and genially look forward to speaking to you personally in just a moment. At Trinity Memorial, we strive to make our families and visitors feel comfortable while paying respects to their level. Hey, how can I help you?
Hi, my name is Brooks. I have a podcast called Crime, Lines, and Lies, and you are more than welcome to subscribe. I am talking to a private investigator that is looking for Summer Wells. And
Right.
he has a tip that Timothy Ellick Morrison, when his grave was open, that Summer could have been hidden there. I just have two questions. When was the grave dug? Because she went missing on the 15th, as per the TBI Amber Alert.
She was buried at East Lawn. Timothy Morrison was buried at East Lawn. Just double checking that right now.
Hold on, Timothy Ellick Morrison.
Yeah, sorry, wrong one. I got the wrong person. That's Morrison Cemetery, yeah.
Okay. Do you know when the grave was actually dug?
We have a third party that does all the grave digging in our area, and he usually does it the day before.
Ask him who the grave diggers were.
Okay. Okay. The PI's on the phone.
Sure, yeah.
Go ahead.
Do you remember the grave diggers for that? Was it a man named Chad Arnold?
No, I believe it was Larry May. I'm looking to see here. Actually, they may have dug it themselves, actually.
Okay, so Chad Arnold was the one that helped with the digging of the grave. The thing about it is, the concern is this: Summer Wells went missing on.
That's not what he said. He's giving you.
Summer.
He's giving you He already
Yeah.
knows that story. Let him tell.
Okay.
What's going on? What do you want?
Who dug the grave? You're saying the family did it themselves.
So on our contract, there was no grave digger. So no grave digger was paid. We weren't hired to dig the grave. Sometimes families will provide their own grave digger or hire someone. Or in that particular area, sometimes there's people that will dig in that area. Morrison is in I think it's called Beach Creek area in near Rogersville, Tennessee.
Yes, in the Beach Creek area, the grave diggers are Chad Arnold. Yes, we already got that confirmed.
No, that is not confirmed at all. He flat out said no. The only name we have is Larry May. Let's not speculate. So let me ask you something.
Larry May didn't do it because he wasn't paid, because we don't have it on our contract. We never charged the family for grave digging. Therefore, they provided their own, or they hired somebody to do it, or they contacted someone to do it, and they did not hire us to do the grave digging.
Let me ask you, okay, so when you, obviously your services, he didn't have a vault, he had a casket, and the grave was dug the day before he was buried, which is on the 17th. So when he went in the ground, did you happen to notice a little girl in there?
Yeah, we always look in there. We set up the lowering device and everything. There was nothing in the bottom of the grave. Now, I don't know if you've ever seen the bottom of a grave where it's freshly dug.
Yeah, I have. I have.
So there was not a, obviously we would stop everything if there was a body in there. There was not,
Well, here's the whole thing. When my mom, when they dug her grave, and that was Woodlawn Cemetery, and they did it, obviously before her graveside service. So, I don't know. It doesn't seem plausible to me. Do you think it's plausible that Summer Wells is in the Morrison Cemetery?
There was no body in the bottom of the grave. Now, it was just fresh dirt on the bottom. So,
So,
I don't know.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. Is it plausible? Could this have happened? Could they have taken and dug further down and put the body further down in and then covered it back up? Like you said, it was fresh grave. It was fresh dirt. Right. So that you would not know that. Is it possible?
Right. Yeah, that's plausible. We wouldn't know that because it's freshly dug dirt on the bottom. You wouldn't be able to tell if it's really been disturbed, because it has been disturbed because you've dug into the earth. So there's no way to know other than if you guys can get a court order and go out there and do something, I don't know.
So what I plan on doing is, let me ask you a question. These caskets that are used, they're airtight sealed. Therefore, no scent cannot escape a casket, correct?
This casket was not gasketed. They did not pay for a gasketed casket, so this was not gasketed, no.
Okay, so do you have an idea of what they used for this?
Yeah, it was a 20 gauge non-gasketed. We donated it because they didn't have the money. We tried to help the family.
Okay, that's awesome of you guys to do. So a cadaver dog would be of no help then, probably, but GPR, if we ran GPR around and going down from there, we could probably actually figure out if there was something under it. But I was hoping that it would be a sealed casket, therefore scent couldn't come out, and under that, whatever item or whatever box they put it in, it would have broke apart by now or started and letting scent escape, and a cadaver could have figured it out.
That cemetery, a lot of people that get buried in that cemetery don't have a lot of financial means, and so there's probably a lot of ungasketed caskets down there and everything else. So I don't think a cadaver dog would help at all in a cemetery like that. I wish you had some kind of, if you're going down this avenue, I wish you had some kind of tip that somebody could verify and they could get a court order, to do something. But I don't know how you would see past through a casket to the other side. I will tell you, I have had a situation in Virginia where I went to bury someone and they acted really suspicious at the cemetery, and they wouldn't let me. They wouldn't let us bury the wife next to the husband. They said we'd have to move him, and it was just kind of weird. And so we said that's fine. The family said that's fine. So we buried her somewhere else, and then we said, look, we're going to come back and exhume him and move him over there. And they said, no, we'll take care of exhuming. And I said, well, I'm going to be up here when you do it. And they said, no. And so I called the police on them, and there was someone else buried underneath that vault. The cemetery had sold that plot twice, and they had someone underneath there. So sometimes it happens, sometimes it happens. But there's, I mean, when you have graves being open and left open, which is how it works, around here, people usually dig the day before, 2 days before sometimes. I mean, that's plausible.
Thank you. I appreciate it. That's all I wanted to know. Thank you.
Now, let me ask you a question. Since you're the one that put the man to rest, how would Ernie here use his, what's it called, Ernie GPR? He also mentioned digging between the graves. I mean, how would you go about that? How would he get a permit? Because his friend David doesn't know fuck about shit. So, I mean, how would you go about doing that?
Well, you're digging in a cemetery, so you could dig next to it. You could dig if you contacted the cemetery and they gave you permission. You could not touch that grave or dig into that grave or uncover that grave, because that would be considered starting the process of exhuming. But you could dig next to it if the cemetery gave permission. I don't think there's any kind of permit for that.
Yes, that's exactly what we was thinking about, and that's exactly what we were told as well. We were told this by state and health officials as well, that we would have to, after we found out, we would then progress on to get further documents and pretty much permits on what we needed to do. Of course, law enforcement would be involved at that time as well.
Yeah, I don't think you need any permits. You just need the permission of the cemetery. Unless there's somebody buried on either side, then that's where you're going to run into an issue with you're going to have a court order or something.
Yes, and you know as well as I know, when it comes to stuff like this and getting things done in these small communities, money talks.
I guess I don't know, but
Yeah,
you have to have a court order,
Yeah, I think the man's not looking to get bribed or anything. I think he's telling you get it.
No, I'm not trying to bribe nobody. I'm not trying to, but I'm just telling you, in these small communities, we know how it works. It's the good old boy system, and money talks. It's just whatever. It don't matter what people say. It's the way it works. It's the way it works in Hawkins County.
Okay, good luck. So how are you going to go to Hawkins County and get them to give you a permit to do what you want to do?
We're already going to get that. That's automatic. That's easy. That these people that I deal with and the organizations that they have, they'll get it. They'll get it done. I'm not going to exploit them on here. I'm not going to do that. I've got a lot of things to do before we even do that. But I'm pretty sure that everybody got their answer, that it is plausible, that it could happen. And we've heard that from two different people from two different cemeteries, that it could happen and that it is very possible. So there's mind blown right there. They've even said that there's been people that's dug up that had other people under them. It's the perfect crime, and it was perfect. There's no other thing about it. So that right there gives me even more hope into believing that Summer Wells is in that grave. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. Well, but anyway, that's all I can tell you. I wish you guys the best. I'm sure that case has been something around here that people have really want to know the answer to. But
now, what do you think happened to her?
I have no idea. I have no idea. I mean, I've read the paper like everybody else and all that. I have no idea, but I wish somebody could find out. I know a lot of people around here would like to have that answer.
I would too, because I couldn't imagine living in a community where a little girl is missing and nothing's going on. All right, so you're basically saying it's a pine box, Timothy Ellick Morrison, no vault, and somebody could have actually put her in there.
Yeah. No, it's so there is no vault, but it's a metal casket. It's not a pine box. But all I know is when we go and bury, we obviously look into the grave when we do that, and there was nothing in the bottom of the grave. That's just standard. That's what we do. So.
Well, this is absolutely ridiculous. All right, so Ernie, we're going to call the court clerk's office in a second to get you your permit, okay?
Yes, go ahead.
All right, thank you for your time, sir.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye, God bless. Now, most graves, Ernie, even though you keep saying it's just like a bunch of dirt down there, when they dig them, they pat it way down to make it easier to put the vault, the casket, or whatever in. I think we've had a lot of information today, don't you, Ernie?
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Brooks, I used to dig graves for Louis Beyonce's funeral home, and yeah, back when I was young, that's how I made my extra money, was digging graves. That's a known fact.
Well,
So
then you
yes,
yes. Okay, super. All right.
oh
That's
yeah,
cool. All right. So what I'm going to do is let you and David Holloway go ahead and get the permits. We will stay in touch. Okay. I've put some feelers out with the TBI, Hawkins County, and we'll see where it goes. Because I know by now everyone is bored of me making phone calls. Okay.
oh yeah. I mean, there's furthermore research to be done, and yes, I do appreciate it, and thank you for having me up here. I enjoyed being up here. Thank you, thank you. I've got a live to do myself, and I do appreciate it. Thank you, Brooks. I appreciate you.
Well, I'm so glad. All right, everyone, let's have a round of applause for our friend Ernie. All
Yes,
right.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Brooks. And if everybody wants to continue watching this, what I can put out there will be on my channel, Unlock Your Reality. I do appreciate it. Thank you, Brooks. Thank you, everybody in chat, and have a nice day.
Well, thank you, Ernie. I know it was a rough day for you, and nobody was trying to be mean to you. We were just trying to get to the bottom of it, and I think we did.
We had a great listen. There's going to be the good and the bad, and the thing about it is we got to keep rolling with the punches, and that's what we did. And I did have a great time up here. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, it was great questions. Some of them was particular things that I didn't have a clue about, but yes, I answered them to the best of my knowledge, and I do appreciate you. Thank you, Brooks. Thank you for having me.
All right, now I want to say thank you to all of you. We'll be back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central. And we will be talking about another case. And then I'm going to work on something else to work on more of what is going on, getting these permits to dig up poor old Timothy Ellick Morrison. Mod Squad, don't know how you did it, but you're the best. You guys are the best. And I will see you tomorrow morning. Love you all. Thank you.